Hi, everybody, and welcome to the best of USC and UCLA football right here on Fox Sports West 2. I'm Jim Watson, and every Sunday during July and August, we'll be opening up the vaults to bring you a blast from the past involving the Trojans and the Bruins. Over the years, Prime Ticket, Prime Sports, and now Fox Sports West 2 has been the home of USC and UCLA athletics, and we're pleased to be able to relive these great games for you. This week's game is the 1990 crosstown clash between the Trojans and the Bruins. And now joining me here in the studio is the voice of Trojan football since 1961, Tom Kelly. Of course, Tom, thanks for coming in with us.
Thank you, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here. I was just thinking when you mentioned 1961, what a phenomenon it was. What an upset that a 15-year-old could step in and take over as the voice of the Trojans. Actually, the 61 season I shared with Chick Hearn. Chick did the play-by-play, and I did the color. And then in the fall of 61, after the football season, Hearn went over to be the Laker announcer. But this was a great football game, and it truly was one for the ages. If you look back at the Bruins and the Trojans and all the great games they've played, this one certainly does stand out.
And it's surprising that it goes down as a classic, with the exception that this game really didn't mean anything. Of course, with the emotion tied SC-UCLA, it does have that underlying theme, though, doesn't it?
Well, Southern California fans, and I don't mean USC fans, I mean football fans in Southern California have been spoiled down through the years because it seemed that it was either UCLA or USC going to the Rose Bowl, and the game that they played in November determined who'd win the conference, who'd go to the Rose Bowl. And more often than not, it also had a great bearing on where they finished nationally. This game really meant nothing except probably the most important thing, bragging rights and the pride of the two schools, one against the other.
But 98,000 people, the Rose Bowl, SC-UCLA, it still had that feeling. It was still special.
Oh, indeed it was. It truly was an outstanding football game.
How about the two quarterbacks in this one, Marinovich and Maddox, two guys who were getting a lot of pub in those days?
Indeed they were. And both of them underclassmen, and both destined to be Sunday's heroes, if you will. And, of course, they had two great receivers, Sean LaChapelle and Johnny Morton, SC, UCLA. Great promise by all four of these young men. It was certainly going to be evident. For some of them, it turned out to be exactly true. Great prophecies that they would have magnificent Sundays coming up. Morton is still playing. LaChapelle is still playing somewhere. The two quarterbacks didn't fare as well. But on this day, on this afternoon at the Rose Bowl, all four of these guys stood out head and shoulders above everybody.
And that's what it's all about when you come to SC or UCLA. You have to play big in the big game. How about the two coaches, Donahue and Larry Smith for USC?
Well, you know, Smith spent a rather tenuous tenure at USC. He was always under extreme fire. I don't know if he really enjoyed coaching at USC. As I look back at his career with the Trojans, he came from Arizona over here, and Arizona's kind of a small town compared to Southern California, and the media really gets on you over here. Terry Donahue, I was never that close to Terry. I certainly admired all of the teams he coached and his fine work. And I see him now and we laugh and giggle at one another, you know, on the golf course. But he always seemed to be under a great deal of strain and stress and pressure from Bruin fans to win. No matter how well his teams played, how many great games he had, how many victories, there was always some pressure on Donahue. Both men, I'm sure, felt it a great deal coming into this ball game.
Well, they call it one of the classics of all time. We'll take it back now. SC and UCLA, Maddox and Marinovich, 98,000 people at the Rose Bowl.
It'll be interesting to see if Runderstrom kicks off, and I think, I spot number 23 there. They had great competition in practice at USC this week. Larry Smith not at all pleased with his kickoffs against Oregon State. But Grant Runderstrom is ready to kick off for the Trojans, and deep for UCLA will be Sean Wills. So this will be the 60th time in the history of this SC-UCLA rivalry. Wills will field it at the 6. Sean Wills up to the 20, trying to get to the outside and pull down around the 25-yard line. Mike Salmon making the tackle for the University of Southern California. Now let's check the lineups for UCLA. Tommy Maddox. He is a total of 150 sacks out of 287 in passing, 14 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. And of course, his key receiver is Scott Miller, who has just been outstanding for UCLA this year. Scott Spaulding will be the left guard. He got the game ball as the best offensive lineman against the Huskies a week ago up in Seattle. Tommy Maddox to throw on first down. They're stringing him out. Maddox in a little bit of trouble. Manages to make something out of nothing. Fumbles the ball, but I believe it's covered by UCLA. They may rule that his knee was down around the 27 or 28-yard line. Jason Oliver on the hit for the Trojans. Terry McDaniel, Mike Hens, and Don Gibson. And, of course, Gibson is the key man with 5 quarterback sacks. Look for Scott Ross to be a key man on defense for USC. Ross has a total of 3 quarterback sacks this season, and Stephon Pace will be a key man in the secondary for USC. Out of the shotgun, a high snap from center, and the pass is picked off by Pace. Pace runs it in. Touchdown, USC. 26 yards on the interception of the Tom Maddox pass by Stephon Pace, the sophomore out of Bishop Amonte High School from Duarte.
Well, definitely not the way UCLA wanted to start the game. And right there, a high snap, and Maddox pressured really hard by Don Gibson. He really makes a play. Pace right there to step in front of the ball, steps into the end zone for a touchdown. Right here, you're going to see Maddox, little fake to Kevin Smith, but instant pressure by Don Gibson, who just drills Maddox.
Maddox, I think, was trying to complete that pass to Brian Brown, but he completed to Stephon Pace instead. Quinn Rodriguez, the snap is fumbled. Pat O'Hara picks it up, throws to Rodriguez, and he's going to be nailed. What a bizarre way to start this game. We have played 52 seconds, and we've had an intercepted pass and a bobbled PAT. Well, it's typical SC UCLA. 6-0 Trojans. Well, the Trojans got an easy one on that 26-yard run back with the intercepted pass. Stephon Pace, his 3rd interception this season. And Larry Smith and SC out to an early 6-0 lead. Larry got his 100th victory in the rout of Oregon State last Saturday in Corvallis. Smith, 4 years the head coach at Tulane, 7 years the head coach at Arizona. This is his 4th year at USC.
Right there, we're going to see the missed PAT. Garrett Greedy bearing down on Pat O'Hara, just getting the ball out to anybody who's going to catch it, and Rodriguez, the unlikely candidate.
Now that the Bruins have been stunned 6-0, let's see if Terry Donahue and company can come back. Runnerstrom to kick off. Wills will field this at the 4. Sean Wills to the 10. And knocked down right around the 23-yard line. Marvin Pollard on the hit.
Well, we're going to see Tommy Maddox. He's going to try and get the ball to the left side of the screen, and the snap was, you're going to see it a little bit high. Stephon Pace, he's freed up, and he has the tailback in coverage. You're going to see him come right up, and he sees the play the entire way, picking off Maddox's pass and taking it into the end zone.
I'm sure that Tommy Maddox, a redshirt freshman, has been swept up in all of the hype for SC and UCLA this past week, and he's got to be feeling the butterflies. Now let's see if Maddox can go to work. Sean LaChapelle is one of the wide receivers, and what? Maddox wants a timeout.
Well, actually, he did the right thing. The 25-second clock had run down to about 5, and you know, right there, it's just a bad mismanagement of them not knowing the play right out of the bat, right out of the huddle, and letting the time run down on the clock.
This is not the best way to start a game for UCLA. But we've had some games this season where the Bruins have started out like world beaters, and then the last 3 quarters were a different story.
And so we've had it the other way around, too. They've started off slow and come on extremely strong towards the end of some games. Stanford being one, of course. Last week, Washington being another.
And let's see how big that missed point after by USC looms as this game unfolds. Temperature 72 degrees here in Pasadena. Sean Wills and Brian Brown will be flanking the quarterback, Maddox, out of the shotgun. LaChapelle in motion. Maddox steps up and fires this pass, and it is caught. Scott Miller up to the 35, 12 yards, first down UCLA. Scott Ross brought down Scott Miller.
Well, Scott Miller's just having a tremendous year, and he's UCLA's All-America's hopeful preseason, or actually for the postseason. He makes a great catch right there of a Maddox pass and jumps ahead for the first down.
That's the 31st pass that Miller has caught this season. And remember this, Scott Miller missed the first 3 games of the season. He was out with a fractured collarbone. Kevin Smith and Brian Brown now flanking Maddox from the shotgun. First down, UCLA, the ball at the 35 of the Bruins. It's Brian Brown. He's at the 45, up to the 47. Tackled by the strong safety, Marcus Hopkins. 12 yards by Brian Brown, who has rushed for 100 or more yards 5 times in his last 7 games.
Well, that's one advantage of being in that shotgun formation. SC really has to play pass, and anytime you hand off to a guy like Brown, who has had some big games, it allows him some running room.
Ball is spotted down at the 48-yard line. First and 10 from the UCLA 48. Scott Miller in motion. Looking for Miller. It is on target to Reggie Moore. Miller was down deep at the 25 of the Trojans. Moore makes the grab at the Southern California 40. 11 yards and another first down for UCLA.
Well, Reggie Moore, unlike much similar to Scott Miller, having a great year. And Reggie Moore coming into the game with 85 career receptions. He was tied with Paul Bergman, and he needs just 3 to go into 7th place ahead of another player, Kurt Altenberg.
Paul Bergman, your old buddy.
That's right.
The Bruins with the first and 10 at the 40-yard line of Southern California. Paul Richardson is a wide receiver. The give is to Kevin Smith, and he goes to the 40. Just got inside the 40. Tackled there by Craig Hartsiker of Southern California.
What we've seen early on in the game, Mike, UCLA really reliant upon the pass the entire year. And for Maddox to come out, his first pass being intercepted for a touchdown, really, I think, creates a little uncertainty, maybe a little uneasiness among the Bruins supporters. But they're coming right back to the pass. They're not going to get away from it. It's been good to them all year long.
Maddox taps his center, Gideon, on the backside. Sean Wills and Brian Brown in the shotgun along with Maddox. Tommy Maddox across the middle, and it is caught. No, it is not caught by Sean LaChapelle. He was trying to make a very low grab at about the 35. Marcus Hopkins right with LaChapelle. We have played 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Tommy Maddox has hit on 2 out of 4 for 24 yards. And, of course, the interception by Stefan Pace, 26 yards for a USC touchdown. 6-0, the Trojans lead it. We have 12 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 3rd down and 9 at the USC 39-yard line. Tommy Maddox fires this pass. It's caught. Reggie Moore down to the 19 of Southern California. 20 yards on the pass play, and the strong safety, Marcus Hopkins, put him down. Reggie Moore hooking up with Maddox.
Well, Reggie Moore is just going to run up and run a 6 route. We call it a turn in or a deep in. You're going to see they're going to double coverage on the right side, and Maddox just doing what he's done all year, looking off, coming back to Reggie Moore. Moore with a nice catch and a big play there for UCLA.
Corwin Anthony is the tight end on the right side. Reggie Moore is split out to the right. Power eye to the left for UCLA. Kevin Smith, and he gets a yard to the 18. Kevin Smith, the junior from Oakland Skyline High School, picks up a yard. That's what Maddox has done so far. You can see interceptions, 12, the 12th one in the first 30 seconds of this game, picked off by Stefan Pace, who ran it back 26 yards for the score. 6-0 Southern California, and it's 2nd and 9 for UCLA at the Trojan 18. Miller in motion. Maddox looking for Miller, dumps it off to Scott Miller. He's got the ball, and then Miller is hit at the 12-yard line. They will mark his progress at the 12. Stefan Pace, the free safety, nailed Miller at the 12. That'll set up a 3rd and 3 for UCLA at the Southern California 12. Reggie Moore leaves. We'll get 2 tight ends in there right now. No, Richardson is coming in as a wide receiver, wide to the right side. Scott Miller is flanked out to the left. 3rd and 3 from the Southern California 12. And the line judge came in waving his hands. That's Chuck McFerrin before the ball could be snapped. Timeout had been called by Southern California. Timeout USC. 10:20 to go. First quarter. Trojan 6. Bruins West 2. 3rd and 3 for UCLA at the Southern California 12.
Well, I tell you what, that missed extra point by SC may loom a little bit later on to hurt him, but time will tell.
The Bruins come out on the shotgun. Miller, a wide receiver to the left side. Reggie Moore to the right. Sean Wills and Brian Brown in the shotgun along with Maddox. Maddox looking, fires the pass complete to Reggie Moore. Moore is down to the 4-yard line of Southern California. It'll be 1st and goal to go. UCLA at the USC 4-yard line. Jason Oliver, the quarterback, putting the hit on Reggie Moore.
Well, with that catch, Reggie Moore moves ahead of Kurt Altenberg on the all-time list. He moves into 7th place.
This time Miller is wide to the right. You can see what the Bruins have done inside the 20-yard line. They call it the red zone. Pitch goes to Brian Brown. Ooh, as he wastes. Manages to escape one, but then a whole host of Trojans get him and bump him all the way back to the 10-yard line. Good pursuit by Southern California. Kurt Barber was in there along with Terry McDaniels and David Webb. They will mark his progress at the 9. It's 2nd and goal, UCLA at the USC 9-yard line. Larry Smith will get a couple of extra defensive backs in there now.
Well, 2 players went on and one came off.
This time the Bruins will go out of the eye. Smith comes up and shots something to Maddox, then turns around and relays the signals to Brian Brown, and Maddox calls another timeout.
I tell you what, UCLA is just letting the clock run down too far. I mean, they were inside of 5 seconds that time. Maddox with a bad play on first down, not wanting a penalty there, doing the right thing, calling timeout.
So the Bruins have called 2 timeouts here in the first 5 minutes of this game. The Bruins have only 1 left. The Trojans 2. Maddox has time. Now he's going to run with the ball. Maddox cuts in at the 5. Touchdown, UCLA! Two great blocks. One from a guard, Scott Spaulding. Another one from a running back, Sean Wills. 9 yards, Maddox.
Well, Tommy Maddox, he's going to stand in the pocket for the longest anyone can stand in the pocket. He's going to get out of there. Right there, he puts a nice little move on. And of course, Sean Wills, like you said, Mike, we couldn't see it on the replay, but he had a great block allowing Maddox to score.
Holding will be Maddox. The kicker is Brad Daloiso. He drills it home. And although the Bruins were stunned in the first 30 seconds with that intercepted pass by Stephon Pace, UCLA comes right back to take the lead 7-6 thanks to the 9-yard touchdown run by Tommy Maddox and the extra point by Brad Daloiso.
Well, the game, Maddox really showing no ill effects of his first throw that went the other way for 6 points, and UCLA really coming back, rebounding, putting a nice drive together, and capped off by a real nice run.
And making the snap on that PAT was Jeff Bailey, who is filling in again for the 2nd week in a row for the injured Derek Stevens. Now, Stevens is in uniform, but he didn't snap on that one.
Maddox right there. He's just trying to get the ball downfield to either Moore, LaChapelle, or Miller. And right here, you're going to see Sean Wills put a block on Stephon Pace. We did get to see it. And Tommy Maddox celebrating.
And there was a good block by Spaulding put on Mike Hintz. So the Bruins have a 7-6 lead over SC. 77 yards in 11 plays.
Yeah, really important. 11-play drive, took 5 minutes off the clock, but one costly, I think, to UCLA, taking 2 timeouts early on in the game. It may come back to hurt them before the half.
But what you have seen in the first 6 minutes is one of the reasons why this rivalry is really something special. The schools are only 15 miles or so apart.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason it's such a huge rivalry. So many rivalries across the nation are different states, and of course Ohio State, Michigan. They're great rivalries, but like you said, SC UCLA in the same town, really for the bragging rights of Los Angeles.
And you have a lot of couples. One went to UCLA, the other to SC, or vice versa. And so I tell you, it's difficult for the week leading up to this game here in the Southern California area. Tommy Maddox, who made something out of improvising so very, very well on that 9-yard touchdown run. Brad Daloiso, the 22-year-old senior from San Diego, prepares to kick off to either Curtis Conway or Johnny Morton. And it will be Conway. Watches the ball flip out of bounds at the 9. And so Daloiso will start over and kick it off now from the 30. Todd Marinovich getting ready to see a little action. He hasn't seen any yet.
No, he really hasn't. It's tough for a quarterback sometimes at the start of a game. You'd like to really get into the flow of the game. And Marinovich, I'm sure he's a little bit antsy waiting to get in, but he'll get in very soon.
There was some discussion as to the starting quarterback for SC all week. Would it be Shane Foley? Would it be Todd Marinovich? And Larry Smith did not make up his mind until the start of the game today, and he said, number 13 is my guy. And number 8 is Terry Donahue's guy, Tommy Maddox. When you consider Maddox is just 19, turned 19 early in September, and to think, and this makes Terry Donahue quite happy, 3 more years at UCLA. Now this time with the ball teed up at the 30, Daloiso will try it again. And it'll be Conway. Gets away from Conway, and he has to go back to the 5. Curtis Conway to the 15 and hit hard there. Dropped at the 15-yard line. James Malone put him down. And Todd Marinovich comes in at quarterback for USC. Marinovich was the college freshman of the year in college football last year. First team all Pac-10. The redhead loves to throw to Gary Wellman, and why not? Wellman is the number 1 receiver for the Trojans, and the number 1 blocker on that offensive line is Mark Tucker. Wellman comes out wide to the left side. Raul Spears and Mazio Royster in the backfield. And Marinovich is going to throw or run. He comes up and dumps it off, and it is caught by Johnny Morton coming across field. Morton at the 28-yard line. Tackled by Eric Turner with some help from Roman Pfeiffer. 12 yards on the pickup. Emmanuel Onwatwebi came to UCLA as a walk-on, and he's been a steady performer at nose tackle for the Bruins this year. Roman Pfeiffer, 3 intercepted passes, 3 quarterback sacks for the Bruins. And of course, Eric Turner, 5 intercepted passes, 14 in his career. This his last game at the Rose Bowl for UCLA. 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 28-yard line. It is Royster. Keeps those legs moving and gets across the 30 to the 31. Emmanuel Onwatwebi made first contact, and he had help from Matt Werner. Then there's a fight that's breaking out on the field. Derek Dees is over there.
They're just saying hello to each other down there. That's usually how SC UCLA games start off. They usually introduce one another, and they'll get to know each other real well by the 4th quarter.
In the 4 games that you played in this rivalry as a UCLA quarterback, is there a lot of talking that goes on down on the field?
Let's just say I never really wanted my mother real close by to the field. I used to tell her, Mom, stay back. Stands are great. Row 30, it's good enough.
2nd down and 7 for the Trojans from their own 30. It's a 7-6 lead for UCLA. Lockwood in motion. Royster wide to the right side. Makes his cut at the 35 and is pulled down at the 36. Roman Pfeiffer, the outside linebacker, caught up with him and brought him down. Beautiful shot at the Rose Bowl here. Picture perfect day in Pasadena. Mazio Royster averaging 5.5 yards a carry and 7 touchdowns. And when the season started, he was just a guy on the roster. Ricky Irvins was the key guy. And then Irvins got the ankle injury after the Ohio State game, and Royster has become the man at tailback U.
That's right. Royster actually starting off number 3 on the depth chart early in the preseason.
All right. 3rd down and 2. The ball at the 35-yard line. Marinovich pitches to Lockwood. And Lockwood, I think, picks up the yardage. He's up to around the 38. Tackled by Matt Darby. He probably should have yardage for the first down. First down, says referee Jim Springer. Scott Lockwood was a tailback when he first came to USC, switched to fullback this year.
That's right, and he also returns punts for him. He's really a great utility guy. He can play fullback and block well, carry the ball when asked to at tailback. Special teams guy, just really a good all-around player.
His dad went to USC. His grandfather went to USC. So even though he's from Colorado, he was destined to go to SC. Marinovich firing the pass complete to Wellman, and Wellman is bumped out of bounds by Carlton Gray. Gary Wellman, not very big at 5'9", 175 pounds, but he has great focus, great concentration, and blessed with just an outstanding pair of hands.
Yeah, he really does have good numbers. You look at it, 47 receptions, about 17-yard average. Really their main guy, big impact player, receiver, and really has come down with a lot of big catches. And Marinovich putting the ball right on the money that time, allowing Wellman to get up the field and get close to a first down.
Change for UCLA. Mike Shalinsky comes into defensive end, replacing Bruce Walker. So it'll be 2nd and 1 for the Trojans. The ball on the SC 48. Bruins lead in this game 7-6. And it'll be a first down for Southern California. Raul Spears carried to the 50-yard line. Spears is a junior from Compton. And yet you look down this USC lineup, and it's dotted with a lot of young players. Freshmen, true freshmen, and redshirt freshmen.
Yeah, they're very deep right there. Shane Foley, number 10, who really, through the last 2 games that they've played so far, he was 9 of 9 last week, and he was 2 of 2 the week before that. So he's been 11-11 the last 2 games they've played, and right there, good averages, some good throws.
The Trojans with the 1st and 10, the ball at midfield. UCLA 7 and Southern California 6 with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Royster runs right into Stacey Argo.
Going back to the Marinovich-Foley debate throughout the week, I really didn't think there was a question myself as to who was going to start for SC. I think Marinovich, he's been there. He's been played in some big games for SC. And really, his numbers are actually pretty good. He's number 2 in the Pac-10 in passing efficiency. And no, Maddox is not number 1 in efficiency. He's 3rd. Jason Columbus from Stanford is 1st in those rankings. But Marinovich, a little off from last year, but still, he's played in the big games, and he's won for him.
New defensive tackle for UCLA, Brian Kelly, backing up Emmanuel Onwatwebe. 2nd and 7, Trojans ball at the 47 of UCLA. Play action fake. Marinovich fires this pass right on target. It is Larry Wallace, and Wallace is stopped at the 30-yard line or thereabouts of UCLA. 21 yards on the pass play as Marinovich hits the sophomore from Stockton, Larry Wallace.
What you're doing, we talked about all week, UCLA stopping SC's run. Well, right there, SC doing the right thing. A little play action. They're getting the ball out to Wallace on the run. Same play they ran earlier with Johnny Morton. Marinovich with another good throw.
And the Trojans with the first down at the UCLA 27. Wide to the right side comes Johnny Morton for the Trojans. Wellman is flanked to the left. Marinovich back to throw. He's going long and deep, and he misses his tight end, Brad Banta. Just overthrew Banta by inches. Dion Lambert on the coverage for UCLA. Banta is quite a target at 6'5" and 240, and he is a redshirt freshman.
Once again, a little play action in the line of scrimmage, and what UCLA is going to have to do is put a little more pressure on Marinovich. The ball just really carrying out of bounds, and Banta just not real close.
And so far, Marinovich has completed just 1 pass to Brad Wellman. He's mixing it up very well on this drive. 2nd and 10 for Marinovich and USC at the 27 of UCLA. Marinovich across the middle. Completes it to Brad Banta. Penalty marker down. Banta was hit by Stacy Argo, one of the inside backers for UCLA. Jim Springer is the referee. Illegal shift against Southern California. Larry Smith looking on, 51 years old. An assistant at one time under Bo Schembechler. At both Miami of Ohio and then at Michigan. Banta limping off the field.
Not really good news for USC, who've already lost 2 tight ends on the season. Frank
Griffin is one.
Exactly, was their starter at the beginning of the year. Lost him to a knee, and Yanni Jackson, they lost him about mid-season to an ankle. So Banta down to the 3rd tight end, and not good with him limping off the field.
So the new tight end for Southern California is Bob Crane, number 47. He's a sophomore out of Long Beach, Milliken.
Well, you know, he probably really hasn't played tight end too much with a 47 number. Usually those tight ends are somewhere in the 80s numbers, but
probably a converted fullback.
Sure.
2nd and 15 for the Trojans. The ball is back at the 32. Royster held up just enough to get a little blocking support, and then he was forced out of bounds by Brian Kelly.
Well, that time USC, they were trying to set up a pass play. Marinovich turned back, and actually I watched Marinovich after he tossed the ball. He was trying to get a block on the backside, and we may have another penalty. I'm not sure.
Personal foul against UCLA. That'll cost the Bruins 15. And look at Donahue. What? Terry Donahue, irate.
I believe they called it on the hit right at the sideline.
Oh, it's a kick. Turner. Looked like he tried to kick Harlow, Pat Harlow, number 77. Turner shaking his head. But that costs you 15, and now the Trojans have the ball at the 14 of UCLA. A lot of emotion in this game. A lot. Spears is the fullback. Handoff goes to Royster to the right side. Makes his cut, takes the hit, and down he goes at the 8. Eric Turner made sure of that tackle. He wanted to make up for that 15-yard penalty.
You bet he does. Eric Turner, a captain on defense. He realizes his mistake, and I'm sure he wants to make up for it and getting after Royster on that play.
Ball is spotted at the 8. So it'll be 2nd down. And about 3.5 for the first down. 3.5 minutes left in this first quarter. UCLA 7, the Trojans 6. But SC has a 2nd and 3 at the 8-yard line. Here comes Royster at the 5. Touchdown! Mazio Royster. 7 yards for Royster. And he got a great block from the offensive guard on the right side, Derek Dees, 265-pounder.
We're going to see straight ahead up front blocking by USC, and Royster just going to run hard and leap into the end zone. Matt Darby just a little bit late, but still punishing hit at the end. You see Roman Pfeiffer coming in. I believe that was Tucker that got the block, although it's hard to say.
And the Trojans will go for the 2-point conversion. SC leading now 13-7. Royster comes out. Spears will be the fullback. Wellman wide to the left side along with Morton and with Lockwood. Marinovich firing, and it is caught. 2 points. Scott Lockwood. To Lockwood, who just did get in.
Well, what you're going to have, USC has a trips formation, or 3 guys to the one side, and the 2 outside guys are going to run slants, and Lockwood lined up inside third. They're just going to run a little pick like in basketball, which is illegal, of course, but Eric Turner there to actually make the play. I didn't think Lockwood had the ball, but The referee, this is going to be a nice angle here. I don't think Lockwood had control of it, but you don't need it for long as long as you get past the goal line.
Ooh, that's close.
Very close.
He was across the goal line. But did he have possession?
Well, I'm sure they'll keep asking that question for the remainder of the game.
It seems like we can't get through a game without a controversy on a catch.
USC coming right back after UCLA's 11-play drive. SC counters with a 12-play 84-yarder, taking out 5:40 off the clock. Royster with the 7-yard run.
So with the 2 points now for USC, the Trojans have a 14-7 lead over UCLA. Here's the kickoff by Runderstrom. Not very far nor very deep. And it goes out of bounds. So now he will have to kick off from the 30-yard line. SC plays a very tough schedule. In fact, according to the NCAA stats, USC plays the 9th toughest schedule in the nation. UCLA 16th toughest. And you know, the toughest schedule of all, according to the NCAA,
I believe it's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is right. Stanford plays the 4th toughest schedule. And SC and Notre Dame will battle it out on the Coliseum next Saturday. A game starting at 5 o'clock at the Coliseum. Working on Brad Banta, the tight end. And Larry Smith's team now leading 14-7 over UCLA. And the kickoff this time doesn't carry very far. Wills comes up to take it at the 20. Slips one tackle and falls down. Hit was made by Mike Salmon. Just got enough of Wills to throw him off balance. We're here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. 100,000 watching SC UCLA for the 60th time. And the Bruins now will have a first down from their own 26-yard line. Trailing in this game 14-7. Kind of a hazy, smoggy day here in Pasadena. Temperature in the low 70s. Sean LaChapelle is one of the wide receivers. He's in the slot to the right. Scott Miller, Reggie Moore, the others. Moore is split to the left. Maddox from the shotgun dumps it off, and it is caught by Sean Wills. He's up to the 40, put down at the 40-yard line. 14 yards on the play. Strong safety Marcus Hopkins put Wills down at the 40.
Well, Sean Wills, a real enthusiastic player right there. Marinovich probably talking to Coach Ray Dorr, the quarterback coach for SC. But Wills is such an energetic player, Mike. He's such a big part of that third down offense. We want to call it a 3-wide receiver offense, but he's really an impact player.
Under 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Maddox has hit on 6 out of 8 for 72 yards. But his first pass was picked off, run back 26 yards for a touchdown by Stephon Pace. Maddox. Incomplete to Scott Miller. Marcus Hopkins, the strong safety, right there with Miller. And it appeared that Hopkins had a shot of picking that off.
Yeah, it did look like he had a step on Scott Miller that time. Maybe a little mix-up between Maddox and Miller, but a lot of time to iron that one out.
Howard McCowan comes into the SC secondary, so the Trojans will go with 5 defensive backs. On 2nd and 10 for UCLA, the ball at the 40. UCLA lines up in the shotgun. LaChapelle in motion. Pass goes to LaChapelle, and he's hit right away by Calvin Holmes. That play nets the Bruins a total of 2 yards.
LaChapelle, a big target. Another receiver over 30 catches, and really it's the first time since 1982 when 3 receivers have been over 30 catches and 500 yards. LaChapelle, 35 catches. Reggie Moore, I believe he has, he's up there high now. He has about 38. Scott Miller with 30 coming into the game.
New wide receiver for the Bruins, Michael Moore, no relation to Reggie. Reggie Moore is wide to the right side, Michael Moore to the left. Tommy Maddox puts this one up down the sidelines, incomplete at the 20-yard line. He was going for Scott Miller, but they had two men on Miller. One of them was Jason Oliver. So it'll be 4th down, 4th and 8. And Courtney Kyler comes on for his first punt in the game. Kyler is a 19-year-old walk-on from Santa Ana, California. And he's been averaging 40 yards a punt. None blocked this season. Curtis Conway is deep along with Scott Lockwood. John Winnick making the snap. Fair catch signal for by Curtis Conway at the 26-yard line. Just a 30-yard punt by Kyler. Southern California 14, UCLA 7. Little over 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. I'm Mike Walden along with Tom Ramsey. Last game for UCLA. The Bruins need a win here today for a winning season after last year's 3-7-1. And the Trojans have 2 more games left. Notre Dame next Saturday in the Coliseum, and then Michigan State New Year's Eve at what now is known as the John Hancock Bowl in El Paso, Texas. Morton is wide to the right along with Wellman. Marinovich handing off to Lockwood, and he's going to be nailed. Lockwood was hit just as soon as he took the handoff. Bruce Walker putting him down. That'll be a loss of a yard back to the 25.
Well, we've seen the UCLA defense really come of age the past 2 weeks against Oregon and Washington, and last week really stopping the top rushing team in the Pac-10. They really put a stop to him, and Eric Turner, of course, with a big interception late in the game, allowing Dalawiso to kick it through the uprights for the win.
Travis Hannon is the new flanker back for USC, replacing Gary Wellman. Hanna is a speed merchant, fastest man on the team. Pitch goes to Royster. Mazio makes his cut and is pulled out of bounds at the 29-yard line in front of head coach Larry Smith. Roman Pfeiffer doing the honors.
Well, Roman Pfeiffer, second on the team with 65 tackles, and you're going to see SC's big guns out in front. Harlow and 77, 75 Mark Tucker, but Roman Pfeiffer doing it, really stringing it out, but Harlow finishing off his block there.
3rd and 7 now for Southern California. The line of scrimmage is the USC 29. Southern California 14, UCLA 7, 1:23 left, first quarter. And now the Trojans go out of the shotgun. Marinovich lines it up. He's in trouble. And he's going to be sacked. Pfeiffer is in there. Darby is in there. And so is Bruce Walker. A trio of Bruins sack Marinovich.
Bruce Walker only a freshman, but right there coming up with a big play.
That's the 24th time Marinovich has been sacked this season.
You're going to see Darby come from the outside at the top of your screen. Pfeiffer down below, and just really a good coverage sack by UCLA. When I mean that, they really had SC's receivers covered down the field.
Ron Dale to kick. Mark Rabb making the snap. Scott Miller backs up and grabs the ball at the 33. Miller trying to find a little running room, and he tries to make his cut, and then he's tackled in his tracks. Mike G making the tackle for USC. 43 yards on the punt by Dale, and a 4-yard return by Scott Miller. There's an SC player down on the field around the 37-yard line. That's McGowan. Howard McGowan, a defensive back and a special teams player. 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. SC 14, UCLA 7, and it's been an entertaining first quarter.
Oh, absolutely. Like all UCLA SC games, and this one starting off, of course, with a bang. Stephon Pace racing in with Maddox's first throw.
And the Bruins coming right back, and Maddox scooting in from 9 yards out for the touchdown. Dalawiso made the extra point. Trojans got a 7-yard run from Royster, win for the 2-pointer, and Marinovich threw to Lockwood. And that's the way we have the score, 14-7.
Looks as though McGowan has re-injured an ankle that was already heavily taped. I'm sure players at this juncture of the season, Mike, the SC UCLA game, they play with injuries. They play hurt. Each team has guys that have been hurt the last couple of weeks. They may have missed a game or two, but everyone suits up for this game. Anyone that can walk plays.
Aaron Gideon is the UCLA center. Maddox in the shotgun. Brown to the left. And Kevin Smith to the right. Little shovel pass to Brown. He gets to the 40-yard line. Tackle is made by Terry McDaniels, a 275-pound redshirt freshman from Altadena, California. 11 seconds to go. Brian Brown today has carried the ball twice for 8 yards. He had over 100 yards last week against Washington in that 25-22 win over the Huskies. That's it for the first quarter. After one period of play, USC 14, UCLA 7. Mike Walden along with Tom Ramsey. Here is the first play in the second quarter. Bruins with the ball, 2nd and 7 from their own 40, trailing 14-7. Maddox steps up and fires this pass, and it is caught and then dropped. Sean LaChapelle had it. Are they going to rule it a catch? Yep, they're going to rule it a catch. 14 yards. Kurt Barber made the tackle on Sean LaChapelle, who caught the ball, and when he hit the ground, lost it. But they ruled it a completed catch, and what a catch it is.
That's right. The ground cannot cause a fumble in college football, and well, on that particular replay,
I don't think he had possession. What do you think?
Well, it didn't look like it, but maybe Lockwood didn't have possession on the two-point conversion either.
Anyway, it's a first down for UCLA. The ball at the 46. Handoff goes to Brian Brown. Brown, somebody's got a hold of one leg and wouldn't let go. And that somebody was the inside linebacker, Scott Ross. Ross is such a tough linebacker. He's playing with a broken hand. 6'2" and 235, Scott Ross. Stats in the first quarter.
UCLA ahead in total yards, 101-71, but with one costly turnover.
14-7 is the score. USC. 2nd and 11 for the Bruins. Maddox in trouble, and down he goes. The tackle is made by Kurt Barber. 235-pound junior outside linebacker from Paducah, Kentucky.
Well, Kurt Barber, he's going to come. He's working against the back. Sean Wills, who tries to go low on him, but Sean Wills giving away a few pounds there, probably 50 or 60, and Barber there to make the stop on Maddox.
And did you notice that Maddox gathered that ball in for protection to make sure he didn't fumble? 3rd and 15 now for the Bruins. The ball is at the 49. Maddox takes a high snap, in trouble, steps up, rifles this, and it's dropped. Wills had the ball, and he got hit and took a real crack there from USC's Matt G. It'll be 4th and 15. And Courtney Kyler comes on the punt. The Trojans drop 2 back. Conway will stand at about the 20-yard line, and then Lockwood is about 12, 15 yards behind him. John Winnick to make the snap. And the kick by Kyler. This is much better than the other one. Fair catch signal for by Lockwood. He was looking up into the sun, and a wise decision by Scott Lockwood to call for the fair catch. 52 yards on the punt by Kyler. SC will take over at their 20. Quarterback for USC will be Todd Marinovich. Scott Lockwood will be the fullback, and Mazio Royster the tailback. The tight end is Bob Crane. Johnny Morton is the split end, and Travis Hannes the flanker back. And up front you have Craig Gibson at center. The guards Mark Tucker and Derek Dees. The tackles Pat Harlow and Michael Moody. And it's that offensive line that means so much to USC.
Oh, yeah, they've always had at least one All-America candidate on there, and really they have 2 this year, Mark Tucker and Pat Harlow.
Lone running back is Lockwood. Wellman in motion. It is Lockwood. He gets maybe a yard up to the 21. A lot of powder blue jerseys right around Lockwood. The charge led by Mike Shalinsky. It's been a funny season for Shalinsky. He plays one game, pops the shoulder, and is out the next game. He's been playing on an every other game basis, it seems. Trojans always have been able to run the ball, except for one day, September the 22nd, up at Seattle, Washington. Huskies 31, SC nothing, and that day SC rushed for only 28 yards. But they came right back and got over 300 yards against Ohio State the very next week. And now SC has to call a timeout. The Trojans were disorganized, not sure of the play. So each team has only one timeout left here in this half. We have 12-12 remaining in the first half. 14-7 USC. 22, Lockwood in motion. Marinovich pumps once, steps up, dishes it off to Royster. And Royster is cut down at the 31-yard line by Carlton Gray. Looks like it's enough for a first down, and the referee, Jim Springer, says yes, indeed it is.
Well, speaking of Jim Springer, I think he's cost both teams 2 timeouts because he started the 25-second clock so fast. Both times on each side, SC and UCLA wanted to get a guy in motion, and both times Marinovich and Maddox, realizing the clock had wound down, had to call a timeout.
Any reason why he's cranking it up so quickly?
I believe for television reasons.
Generally, it's the other way around. First and 10, the ball at the 31. And the give is to number 31. Mazio Royster across the 35. Stop there. Roman Pfeiffer on the bottom of the pile. Royster today, 8 carries, 37 yards. Curtis Conway is the new flanker now for USC. Larry Wallace, the new split end. Conway comes out wide to the left side, and the tight end, Bob Crane, is in the slot. Lockwood is brought down by Manny Onwatwebe, 254-pound junior from Linwood. Midway through the season, the Bruins lost Situpi Tuala, and Emmanuel Onwatwebe had to move in there and play a lot of nose guard, and he's played very solidly for UCLA.
It's true. It was really unfortunate for Tuala. He was playing so well at the time, but Onwatwebe really has come in and played extremely well.
Wellman is back in on 3rd and 3 for the Trojans. He's wide right. Carlton Gray comes over to cover. It's Royster. And Royster is going to be hit at the 39. Racine Keaton, loss of 2 yards. And he got some help from Stacy Argo as well. Racine Keaton had arthroscopic surgery on his right knee late in August, and he missed the first 3 games. So it'll be 4th down, 4th and 1, and the Trojans will go for it. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. 14-7 UCLA, but the ball was at the 40-yard line, and Larry Smith said, wait a minute, maybe that's not a good decision.
Yeah, I think actually Larry Smith is making the correct decision by punting the ball, because if you fail to get the first down, UCLA has the ball on the plus 40-yard line with some momentum.
Mark Rabb to make the snap, and here is the punt by Dale. Nice one. Miller makes no attempt to move over in that direction. Dale was kicking away from Miller, and the ball rolls to the 24-yard line. 41 yards on the punt by USC's Ron Dale. Trojans still in the lead, 14-7 over UCLA. It's always fun before the start of a game to walk around and see the banners in the parking lots
and the T-shirts
and the buttons that various students carry around. The battle of the bands. Every time the game's in the Rose Bowl, the SC fans complain, hey, we don't get any seats. They're all in the end zone. But when the game is at the Coliseum, the UCLA fans say, hey, we don't get any good seats. They're all in the end zone. And that's the way it goes year after year after year. Sean Wills in the backfield, along with Brian Brown, and they will go out of the shotgun. Sean LaChapelle is a wide receiver to the left. Maddox steps up. He's going to run with the ball. He's got a good pass. Up to the 30. Out of bounds at the 36. He had to get to the 35. Stepping out of bounds at the 36 for a first down. Maddox knew exactly where the sticks were positioned to pick up that first down.
Right there, a freshman phenom, Smeredovich, of course, being elected the freshman of the year a year ago with some great numbers, 2,500 yards, 16 TDs, and Maddox closing in on those numbers.
And you have to remember, Maddox only played a half of the first game against Oklahoma and a half of the second game against Stanford. First and 10. Ball at the 35. And again, the Bruins from the shotgun. Maddox steps up and the ball is knocked away. Fumble, and it's covered by the Trojans. Willie McGinnis made the hit. They're going to rule that his arm was going forward, so it's an incompleted forward pass. Watch it again.
Yeah, Maddox is going to be hit right when his arm is in motion here. The ball will be moving forward, and
McGinnis right there.
Necessary to make the play, but Jim Springer saying that his arm was in motion. It was a forward pass, knocked down, incomplete. And
the ball was covered by Craig Hartsiker. So the Bruins get a bit of a break there. It's 2nd and 10 from their own 35-yard line. USC leading in the game 14-7. The pitch goes to the trailing back. Brian Brown makes his cut at the 40. A burst of speed carries it up to the 47. All of a sudden, Brown really accelerated once he made his cut.
I tell you what, Craig Nowitzki right there, big number 71, he got a key block out in front of Brian Brown, and Maddox doing the right thing coming down the line, pressuring the defensive end and pitching the ball right at the right time to Brian Brown, and Brown getting up the field for the first down.
Corwin Anthony replaces Randy Austin at tight end. Miller and Reggie Moore wide right. This time the Bruins will go out of the I formation. Brian Brown the tailback. First and 10, the ball at the 47 of UCLA. Play action fake. Maddox in heavy trouble. Escapes and carries the ball into USC territory. Don Gibson, the defensive guard, finally catches up with him and puts him down at the 47 of Southern California.
Boy, it was almost as though someone was whispering in Maddox's ear, hey, make a sharp left turn and lose these two guys. And he did it right at the right time. And go ahead, and he makes a gain out of it.
Maddox has done so well on the quarterback option play this year, although Terry Donahue has insisted that's just something that's there that we occasionally use. We're not going to make much of it in our offensive repertoire. Maddox has carried 5 times today for 24 yards, including that 9-yard run for a touchdown. It's Brian Brown. Willie McGinnis has a hold of him at the 47. Gain of 1 by Brian Brown. It's so difficult to run against SC because not only do they have good bulk, but the Trojans have good speed.
That's so true, and they're the number 2 rushing defense in the conference. They're only allowing 106 yards rushing per game, and Washington's tops with allowing only 74 yards rushing a game, and UCLA's defense down around 9th, allowing almost 200 yards a game rushing.
3rd and 4, UCLA at the Trojan 47. SC leads 14-7. 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Maddox fires and completes the pass. It is Sean LaChapelle. He's at the 20. LaChapelle at the 10, the 5. LaChapelle, touchdown, UCLA.
Just a huge play. Maddox on 3rd and 5 Just a quick little zip pass out to Sean LaChapelle, and he makes Hopkins miss. And right there, he's really using the field. He eludes Stephon Pace, and it picks up another great block by Reggie Moore. And LaChapelle, a big target, getting in there for the touchdown.
47 yards for the sophomore from Napa Valley, hooking up with Tommy Maddox. Daloiso to kick the extra point. Jeff Bailey to make the snap. Maddox the hold. A kick by Daloiso. It's good. We've got a tie game here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. UCLA 14, USC 14. 7 minutes left in the first half. I remember right after the Arizona game, I was asking Terry Donahue about LaChapelle, and I said, well, we know that Scott Miller is about a 4.5, 4.6. What is the speed of Sean LaChapelle? And Donahue's reply, that is restricted information.
Top secret.
But he sure looked good on that one. He may not have great speed, but he had great field position and great view of the playing area. 76 yards. And, of course, the key, the 47-yard connection. Maddox and LaChapelle tied now at 14. Brad Daloiso will kick off to either Curtis Conway or Johnny Morton. By the way, that's LaChapelle's second touchdown grab this season. And he came in as UCLA's leading receiver with 35. The Bruins in all have 13 different players catching passes this season. On the SC side of the ledger, 17 Trojans have caught a pass. Conway, Morton are deep. And Daloiso gets all of this all right and kicks it beyond the end line. Touchback, and we will start out from the 20. SC with a first and 10. High game, 14-14. There's LaChapelle over there. I guess looking for his mother up there in the stands, or his girlfriend, or somebody from Napa, California. Napa, California. Vintage High School.
Are we on?
There he is.
Happy 50th anniversary, Grandma, Grandpa. Love you.
Great run, Sean. 14-14. Scott Lockwood, Mazio Royster, split backs for Todd Marinovich. On first down, Marinovich, it's dropped by Royster. I don't know whether you heard Arnold Arlay in the neighborhood and Arlay was there, or whether he just took his eye off the ball, but that certainly was catchable.
Arlay sometimes, and a lot of times, making his presence felt. That time, Royster, the ball came out a little late, but it was right on top of him, and I don't believe he saw it real well, but regardless, he dropped the ball. Lockwood leaves. Raul Spears is in at fullback now for Southern California. Johnny Morton wide to the right side. Gary Wellman wide left. Marinovich handing off to Royster. Big hole. Royster cuts up to about the 35-yard line. Tackled by Matt Darby. 15 yards on the gallop by Mazio Royster, the sophomore from Bishop Amat High School, lives in Pomona. Royster that time running through a big hole. Eric Turner there to make the hit on him. He's the nephew of the former infielder with the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Atlanta Braves, and several other clubs, Jerry Royster. First and 10 at the 35-yard line. 14-14 deadlock here in the first half. Marinovich fires this one to Wellman, and Wellman was really trapped. The sideline had him trapped, and then a couple of Bruins were in the area. The first one was Roman Pfeiffer. They will mark his progress up to around the 44. I don't know whether they picked up. They had to get to the 45, so they're going to be a little bit shy of the first down. Ball is at the 44 of USC. Johnny Morton comes back in, and going out is Royster. Next season, the 1991 season, UCLA opens against BYU here at the Rose Bowl. Ty Detmer, who may win the Heisman Trophy. Marinovich putting it up high, and it's going to be picked off. Damian Lyons. Damian Lyons makes the interception. That is
the 9th time this season Marinovich has been picked off.
I'm not sure about this throw. Marinovich, it's hard. Wellman's back there with 3 UCLA defenders, and it really didn't look like he read the coverage at all. He just tries to get a deep throw and tries to make something happen, but 3 UCLA defenders right there. They're probably going to argue over who's going to intercept it. Turner, Darby, Damian Lyons, but Wellman right there to make a tackle on it.
Thus, the Bruins will now take over with a first down at the 16. A 14-14 tie. 6:23 left here in the second quarter. And Springer wants a referee's timeout for a brief moment to make sure the chains are set. Out of the shotgun, Maddox has Kevin Smith on one side, Sean Wills on the other. Maddox across the middle. Grab is made by Reggie Moore to the 35. 19 yards on the pass play. Reggie Moore tackled by Marcus Hopkins and Stephon Pace.
Well, Reggie Moore right here, he's just going to run up the field, and once again he's running the deep in route. Maddox with a great throw. Reggie Moore gets hammered after he catches the ball, but a big pickup.
4 catches here in the first half for Reggie Moore and 59 yards. Dennis Mnuchin and Jim Souders handling our stats for us today here on Prime Ticket. Inside handoff. Sean Wills. He's to the 37. There's the man who just picked off that Marinovich pass. Damian Lyons.
Damian Lyons, another big contributor. The last few weeks, he had a big interception up at Eugene, Oregon a few weeks ago, and of course played real well against the University of Washington last week.
He's a senior from Berkeley, California. Damian Lyons. 2nd and 7 for the Bruins from their own 38. Again, Maddox will line him up in the shotgun. This time, Maury Toy is in the shotgun along with Sean Wills. Maddox in trouble. Down he goes, fumbles the ball. Recovered by Southern California. Gibson making the recovery for USC. Kurt Barber made the hit, and Gibson makes the recovery.
Well, if you're UCLA, you don't want this to happen. Maddox looking down the field, just getting a lot of pressure. Barber right there to strip the ball. McGinnis there also to force the issue. Gibson coming up with the fumble.
In talking about the play of Maddox this season, Terry Donahue said, remember this, he is 19 years old. He is a redshirt freshman. He's got to learn to hold on to the ball, and he's got to stop throwing so many interceptions. There is Royster. Royster running hard down to the 22 of UCLA.
Well, to Tommy Maddox's defense on the last play, you never know what's behind you. And he was trying to move out of the pocket, but give credit to SC's defense. They play an attacking, pressuring defense, and right there coming up with a big play.
So Marinovich turns it over on the interception. The Trojans get it right back on the fumble by Maddox. Matt Darby made the tackle on the last play. 4:45 left in the first half. It will be 2nd and 3. Southern California at the UCLA 22. Royster, big hole. He's at the 10. Tries to make his cut. Sort of loses his footing, and down he goes at the 10-yard line. Dion Lambert. Royster rambling for 13 yards.
Well, right here, the SC lines really, they're down blocking, coming around. You see Derek Deese, number 70, coming by with a trap, and Royster just running hard, getting up the field. Tailback from Pomona, California.
So the ball is just inside the 10-yard line. So call it 1st and goal. The ball just inside the 10. Lockwood and Spears in the backfield for Marinovich. It's Lockwood. And Lockwood was lining up a tailback that time, giving Royster a bit of a breather. Tackle on Lockwood made by Roman Pfeiffer. Of course, Lockwood is familiar with that position. He's played some tailback the last couple of years, switched to fullback this season.
That's right. He really allows Coach Larry Smith to utilize some other players. Like we said earlier, Lockwood being able to both play fullback because of his size and blocking ability, and fast enough to play tailback.
It's 2nd and goal now for the Trojans at the UCLA 6. Lockwood and Spears in the backfield. It's Lockwood trying to get to the outside. He is close to the goal line. No signal as yet. No signal from the officials. Mark Tucker leading the way for Scott Lockwood. He did not get in. Just inches shy.
We're going to see a shot of USC's front line, and Crane, the tight end, coming off the ball, and big number 75, Tucker, coming out, pulling around. Lockwood just cutting underneath. Harlow out there as well. Lockwood getting down to about the 1 foot line.
Look how close that ball is to the UCLA goal line. It's tickling the goal line. 3rd and inches for a USC touchdown. Royster lines up a tailback. Marinovich could carry it himself in the quarterback sneak. And he might have been in motion. I don't know, penalty marker, but it's a touchdown for USC. It appeared that he was moving forward before the ball was snapped. Touchdown, USC, on the quarterback sneak by Todd Marinovich. So the Trojans have taken the lead now at 20-14 over UCLA. 2:43 left in the first half. And this game is just as good as advertised. Pat O'Hara, 3rd string quarterback, will hold. Quinn Rodriguez to kick. Rabb to make the snap. Rodriguez adds the extra point. So it's a 7-point lead now for the Trojans. 21-14 over UCLA. And the Trojan horse stands by here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
Well, USC capitalizing on a big turnover. Tommy Maddox fumbling the ball. Don Gibson, one of their defensive captains, falling on the ball. Really, USC taking over from there, just grinding it out on the ground, and Marinovich scoring from a yard out. It looked like Marinovich on the play really went without a snap count. You said, Mike, he might have been in motion, and from our vantage point, it looked like he was, but I think it was just a real silent count there. He just taps the center and goes, and right there, 29-yard drive, 5 plays, taking 2:30 off the clock.
Well, this has been a seesaw affair since the opening 30 seconds when Stephon Page intercepted a Tommy Maddox pass and ran it back 27 yards for a score. UCLA got a drive going. Maddox came back, 9-yard run. Then Royster added a touchdown on a 7-yard run. And they've traded touchdowns. And right now the Trojans have the lead at 21-14 thanks to that quarterback sneak by Marinovich. Runderstrom's kickoff doesn't travel very far. It's high, fielded by Sean Wills. Wills trying to get to the outside, takes a real pounding as he gets to the 30-yard line. He got hit from the side, from the back, and from in front. First man to make contact was Curtis Conway. So Tommy Maddox will take over with the first down, the ball close to the 30-yard line.
UCLA with 1 timeout remaining now in the last 2:38 of the half.
And SC still has a timeout left in this half. Numbers on Maddox today. What you don't see is the number of the fumble, that last fumble that led to SC's go-ahead touchdown. Maddox firing this one, and it is caught by Scott Miller, and he's dropped in his tracks. But Miller picks up the first down for UCLA. The hit on Miller made by Calvin Holmes. 13 yards, Maddox to Scott Miller.
Boy, Maddox really spreading the ball around to Miller, to Reggie Moore, to LaChapelle with a big 47-yard touchdown. Really, really blessed with a lot of good receivers, and they're really producing for him.
Paul Richardson is a wide receiver for UCLA. Wide to the left side. 1st and 10 for the Bruins from their own 43. 21-14 SC in top. Pass is caught by Corwin Anthony, the tight end. He's out of bounds, and the Bruins have another first down. A first down for UCLA at the Southern California 44.
Well, UCLA really doing a nice job with the clock. There are 2 plays. They only take off about 34 seconds off the clock, and Corwin Anthony that time running a nice little shake route against a linebacker. Maddox with a nice little touch throw over the top. Good for another first down.
Ball is at the USC 44-yard line. Scott Miller is wide left. Fake on the inside handoff, and Maddox will take off. He's at the 40, and he's put down at the 37-yard line. He's going to be shy by 3 yards or so of a first down. That gives the offense another dimension. They know that Maddox can take off and use that option.
That's right,
for a long game.
That's right, a little design run that time, faking a sweep, and Maddox just keeping. Hopefully the defense forget about him, but that time they caught up to him after a 7-yard gain.
Paul Richardson, Scott Miller, the wideouts to the left. 2nd and 3, UCLA at the Southern California 37. 21-14, the Trojans on top. Maddox steps up and fires this one. It's batted down. It might have been Gibson that batted it down. He stands 6'3" and 250. It was. Gibson has 5 quarterback sacks to his credit. He has had 10 pass deflections this year. 10.
Yeah, that's awfully good. That's good playing, and it's good coaching as well. Don Gibson, even though he doesn't get maybe real close to Maddox not to make the hit, he does get his hands up and therefore bats the ball down.
Gibson missed most of last season with a broken ankle. His younger brother, Craig, is the center on offense for USC. So it's 3rd and 3 now for Tommy Maddox and company. Play action fake. Maddox steps up and fires this one complete to Corwin Anthony. He's got a first down, and he is out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Gideon Merle made the tackle and forcing him out of bounds. 21-14 USC. 1st and 10 for the Bruins as they've marched the ball down to the 29-yard line. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this half. Maddox right on target again. Out of bounds, Reggie Moore. And it's another first down for UCLA.
For UCLA once again using the clock really well. Maddox to Reggie Moore that time, picking up a first down and getting out of bounds.
First down for UCLA at the Trojan 18-yard line. This could give UCLA a huge lift if they could get in for a touchdown and tie the game. 65 seconds left in the first half. And the Trojans have a 21-14 lead. Maury Toy is to the right of Maddox. Maddox fires this pass. It's picked off. Scott Ross has it. Ross making the interception for USC. Scott Ross, all Pac-10, first team the last 2 years, just with another demonstration of why he is so valuable to USC.
I was going to say, SC really has laid off. They really haven't been too aggressive. They haven't been blitzing Maddox, and they're going to make him throw the ball into coverage. And this time, Scott Ross from his middle linebacker position just making a deep drop in a zone coverage, and Maddox just trying to finesse the ball over the top, but Ross right there to make the interception. Maddox looking downfield to his left and really doesn't have a lot on the ball, and Ross comes out of nowhere trying to get the ball to Sean Wills, but Ross making a fine play.
48 seconds till halftime. USC 21-14 over UCLA. Royster, Mazio Royster, gets the ball out to the 15, tackled by Brian Kelly. Scott Ross getting the congratulations of his teammates on the SC bench.
Well, so far turnovers really hurting UCLA, and Tommy Maddox, I'm sure, understands what that means in a game like this, and they really can't afford to make mistakes like that, the costly mistakes, the mistakes that turn into points for the other team or take away points from your side.
2 interceptions that Maddox has thrown today. Smith might say, hey, just run out the clock. We've only got 6 seconds. And Marinovich and the Trojans, followed by the UCLA Bruins. That's it at halftime with the score USC 21 and UCLA 14.
And UCLA football, I'm Jim Watson, and I'm joined here in the studio with Tom Kelly. We're watching the 1990 showdown between the Trojans and the Bruins. First half impressions, we knew that the ball would be in the air with Maddox and Marinovich. UCLA throwing a lot more, I think 23 attempts for Maddox.
And 15 completions. And Marinovich had a milder, easier throwing first half, something like 5 of 8 in the passing department. Neither one of these quarterbacks, maybe Maddox did, gave you an indication of what was to come late in this football game in a wild and woolly fourth quarter. And it was kind of a routine first half. 21-14. SC had been ahead 14-7. Each team got a touchdown in the second quarter, as they saw. SC scored first, Pace with an interception. And nothing really outstanding, just your back-and-forth struggle between the two, and certainly anybody's game at the end of the first 30 minutes.
SC up by 7, as you mentioned, 21-14. Did you get the feel at that point that somebody was starting to take control, or was it going back and forth?
I don't think anybody, looking back, it would be easy to say, yeah, I knew the fourth quarter was going to be wild and woolly. But I don't think anybody watching that game had any idea just how big a fourth quarter these two teams were going to put together. And especially so as you watch this now, and a very modest third quarter between the two schools as well. Each team barely getting a touchdown, and then the fourth quarter, just everything broke loose. Unbelievable finish, wild and woolly.
Tom, how do you explain that? It was a situation where the two teams maybe just got to the point where they said, hey, this isn't for very much. This is just for crosstown bragging rights. Let's let it all out.
It could have been somewhat like a sandlot game. You know, you go down to the red Buick and turn left, and you go to the yellow and now throw it, and, you know, that type of thing. With the two quarterbacks and drawing plays in the sand over at the Rose Bowl. I really don't think so. It just that, you know, things just exploded.
SC up 21-14 at the half, but the second half is where all the fireworks happen, especially in the fourth quarter. Let's send you back to the Rose Bowl now. 98,000 people, SC and UCLA, 1990.
Both teams are back onto the field as we get ready to start play here in the second half at the Rose Bowl. USC 21, UCLA 14, and here's how the first half developed. Actually, it started out very early. Maddox out of the shotgun, and it's picked off by Stephon Pace. He runs it in for the score. 27 yards on the intercepted touchdown run by Stephon Pace, and the Trojans had an early 6-0 lead.
All right, here Mazio Royster coming in, capping off an 84-yard drive with a 7-yard hurdle into the end zone. And then USC electing to go for the 2-point conversion, of course, after missing the first PAT. Eric Turner right there to strip the ball, but the referee right there to call it a touch, or actually a 2-point conversion.
So for the stats in the first half, UCLA with a big margin in total yards, almost 100 yards more than SC.
Now they also have a big margin in turnovers, which is real costly on the scoreboard. Maddox with 2 interceptions and a costly fumble, but UCLA, like you said, being able to put a lot of yards up.
And right at the end of the half, it appeared that the Bruins were going in for a score to give them a 21-21 tie. Maddox fires it up there, and it's picked off by linebacker Scott Ross, and that ended that threat. So the halftime score is 21-14, USC leading UCLA, and the halftime stats brought to you by your Toyota dealers and their quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
Well, you see the numbers on Tommy Maddox, 15-23, 200 yards, a touchdown, but 2 interceptions.
Marinovich in the first half was 8 out of 5 for 59 yards. What did I say? It's 5 out of 8. 5 completions in 8 attempts for 59 yards for Todd Marinovich, and he had 1 picked off by Damian Lyons. Morton and Conway are deep for the second half kickoff by Dalawiso. It is Morton. Johnny Morton straight up the middle, still on his feet, and he's up close to the 30-yard line. So the Trojans start out with good field position with a first down at their own 30-yard line, leading in the game 21-14. At quarterback is Todd Marinovich, the redhead from Balboa, Capistrano Valley High School. 6'4", 210 pounds, and a sophomore. And Marinovich started out so well this season, a lot of people were saying, hey, he is a strong candidate for the Heisman Trophy. And there was even some talk that he might turn pro after this season. Then Marinovich fell into a bit of a slump. And all of a sudden that hype settled down. Here is Marinovich with a 21-14 lead and the first play from scrimmage in the second half. Mazio Royster carries it to the 33. And in case you're wondering about Ricky Irvins, he is out of this game with a bad ankle. In fact, Irvins hurt that ankle in the win over Ohio State back in Columbus late September. And Irvins just got in a little bit against Oregon State last week, and he didn't make it for this game.
That's right, but Mazio Royster really filling in nicely, becoming the #2 rusher in the entire conference behind Greg Lewis of Washington.
2nd and 7 now for the white-shirted Trojans from their own 33-yard line. Once again, Mazio Royster goes to the 38. And the tackle on Royster, Bruce Walker is in there. Gray is just looking on.
This is what exactly SC wants to do. They have a lead and they want to control the ball. Now they're going to let Royster handle the ball quite a bit, run behind that big offensive line, and hopefully take a lot of minutes off the clock.
Royster has had 4 games, 100 or more yards rushing, and he's up close to that century mark here today. 3rd and 2 at the 38. Score is SC 21, UCLA 14. We've played a minute and a half. Royster spin. Oh, it's Lockwood, Scott Lockwood, and he stopped at the 39-yard line. Tackle made by Bruce Walker, a true freshman, just 18 years old from Compton. Last year, there were only 2 true freshmen that played football for UCLA. Carlton Gray is one, the other Patrick Bates. He later transferred to Texas A&M. Larry Smith trying for his 101st coaching victory.
There's all sorts of
one and trying to get a first down.
Fourth down here.
The tailback, Spears, is going to carry the fullback, and he's got the first down. He had to get across the 40. And first down for USC. Terry Donahue trying to rally his troops on defense.
Interesting, in the first half we had a 4th down in the identical plays. SC opting to go ahead and punt it away. This time with a lead, Coach Smith says go ahead and try and get the first down. They do a nice job getting it, but they didn't get it by a lot.
3 down linemen for UCLA: Bruce Walker, Emmanuel Onwat-Twebe, and Brian Kelly. Lockwood is the fullback. Play action fake. Marinovich fires this one, and it is caught by Crane, the tight end. Bob Crane at the 41-yard line. Crane is filling in for Brad Banta, who was filling in for the 2 other tight ends that were injured, and Banta was injured early in this game. Did he catch it?
Of course not. Hit the ground.
Looked like it hit his shoe.
But he did a nice job of short hopping it.
Shane Foley started onto the field. Now he's coming off.
And Marinovich took a big hit that time. Deion Lambert blitzed from his cornerback position, really put a hard hit on Marinovich.
Foley has yet to play today, but he came close that time. Marinovich across the middle, completes it to Crane, the tight end. Crane is at the 45 of UCLA. So the Bruins seeing Crane make the grab and going to the 45-yard line. Arnold Ale and Matt Darby on the stop. Crane, the 4th-string tight end. And it'll be a first down for Southern California at the 45. James Malone replaces Stacy Argo. Inside backer for UCLA. 21-14 USC. We've played 4 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Michael Williams replacing Eric Turner now at free safety for UCLA. Lockwood is stacked up at the 44-yard line. Deion Lambert in there on the tackle.
Deion Lambert from Kennedy High School in there with the big guys mixing it up.
How did you know that he was from Kennedy High School?
Well, never forget the alma mater. Right there, a little shot of Shane Foley, who is the closest of any Trojan to the field. He's probably a little antsy. Sure wants to get in the game.
2nd and 9 for Southern California at the 44 of UCLA. The Trojans in the lead at 21-14. Royster, the tailback. Spears, the fullback. Travis Hanna in the slot to the left. Pitch goes to Royster. Royster has to struggle to get to the line of scrimmage, the 44. On top of him is 6'6", 261-pound Brian Kelly. Now it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Trojans. And Gary Wellman is back in for USC. Generally, in this type of a situation, the Trojans, and especially Marinovich, like to go to Gary Wellman.
Sure, Wellman's been a big play receiver for him the entire year, and so far in the game, you see 3rd down conversions. SC 2 of 5.
Ball is at the 43-yard line on 3rd and 8. Travis Hanna wide to the left side. Wellman is in motion. Marinovich peeling off to his left, plants his feet, fires the pass. It is. Is it caught by Wellman? And the officials say yes. And Donahue comes up to argue. Donahue says no, the ball was trapped.
Well, this is another one of these plays where the official who calls the play is standing behind Wellman. There's another official there. I don't think he makes the call. The back judge is the one who came in and said he caught the ball, but his angle really wasn't that good. Terry, of course, seeing it from the front side and with the argument.
As it is, it's a completed catch by Wellman, and the Trojans have a 1st down at the 35. 1st and 10. Here comes Royster. Royster runs in a whole pile of Bruins there at about the 31. Leading the way is Roman Pfeiffer. They will mark his forward progress at the 29. Royster has 95 yards in 17 carries. Alec Mahone comes in for USC at tight end, replacing Crane. USC 21, UCLA 14. 8.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 4 at the 28. Spears in motion. Here comes Royster. Royster trying to turn the corner and is spilled out of bounds at the 26. He didn't get the 1st down. Good block by Spears, leading the way.
Well, Royster that time staying down after carrying it. I don't think it's only because he's tired. I'm sure he's taken a couple hits the past few plays and maybe feeling the effects of it.
The veteran SC trainer Jack Ward over there attending to number 31, Mazio Royster.
Michael Williams coming up from the free safety position, making a big hit along with Roman Pfeiffer.
Now it's 3rd down and about a yard to go for the 1st down. Eric Turner, they're working on him. Jerry Feinerman is the team doctor, standing in the yellow shirt with his hands on his hips. Turner appears to be in some pain. What a blow that would be to UCLA's hopes not to have Eric Turner in there at free safety.
Although Michael Williams filling in nicely on that last play.
Spears and Lockwood in the backfield. It is Spears. I don't know whether he got it or not. He had to get to the 24 or close to it. Looks like he's going to be stacked up at the 25. James Malone made the hit for UCLA. It'll be 4th down. The ball is spotted down right at the 25-yard line. In comes Quinn Rodriguez for the field goal attempt. Pat O'Hara will hold. This is the 13th play of the drive coming up. And the Trojans are hoping to get a field goal and get a 10-point lead. And they're going to go for it. Rodriguez was out there. Now he's not, and here comes Royster, and he's got the 1st down. They showed Quinn Rodriguez, and he came off the field, and it was Scott Lockwood with a good block from Pat Harlow, picking up the 1st down for USC.
SC electing to go for 2 4th down opportunities during this long drive, and Royster just cutting behind that big offensive line, getting up the field for the 1st down.
That should put Royster 104 yards over the 100-yard mark for the 5th time this season. 1st and 10 at the 19 of UCLA. Marinovich pitches it out to Royster, and Royster is at the 15, down to the 14. Matt Darby making the tackle. And Royster is slow to get up, and so is Marinovich. Marinovich limping a little bit.
He sure is. He's running the option also, and right here he gets off a nice pitch to Royster right at the last minute, but he really takes a punishing hit for all his effort on this play.
Got him around the shoulder. Looked like it was Bruce Walker that got him. And then Darby got Royster. Second down and 5. The ball at the 14 of UCLA. 21-14. The Trojans are leading. It is Lockwood. Lockwood scampers to the 6. Tackled by Arnold Alley. Scott Lockwood down to the 6. The speed in that SC backfield. They give you Royster, then Lockwood.
The speed accompanies a huge offensive line, and that time Mark Tucker and Pat Harlow both pulling on the play, and Lockwood just running right up behind him. Michael Williams there to make the stop.
Michael Williams trying to fill some big shoes. Eric Turner on the sidelines. Raul Spears and Scott Lockwood in the backfield. Spears the fullback. The give is to Lockwood. And he stopped right around the 5, just inside the 5-yard line. Mike Shalinsky put him down. Larry Smith's team ahead, 21-14, with 5.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And they've got a great opportunity right now as the ball is just inside the UCLA 5. Second and goal for the Trojans. Raul Spears, the fullback. Mazio Royster, the tailback. Marinovich is going to keep it. And Marinovich is tackled and brought down by Arnold Alley. They will mark his progress at the 3-yard line. Third and goal now for the Trojans from the UCLA 3.
USC again electing to run the option inside the 10-yard line. Interesting call. Marinovich a little banged up, but they're still going to go with him and get the most out of him they can.
And if the Trojans get a score here, I would guess that they would try to ball control their way throughout the rest of the second half. That would give them a 14-point lead if they can get the touchdown. Third and goal, the ball at the UCLA 3. Play action fake. Marinovich in trouble. And the pass is dropped. He was throwing to Alec Mahone. And Mahone, right near the end line, dropped the ball.
Actually, the pass was dropped 2 times. I believe a UCLA defender had a great shot to intercept this ball. I believe it's Carlton Gray, number 3 right there. It goes right through his hands, and it hits Mahone right in the chest, and the ball drops, and nobody catches it.
Now Quinn Rodriguez is out there. This should be a chip shot for the left-footed kicker. Quinn Rodriguez, a 20-yard field goal. He's a senior from Mesa, Arizona. Holding is O'Hara. Rodriguez puts it right home. So the Trojans don't get a 14-point lead. They have to settle for the field goal. And with 4:19 to go in the third quarter, it's USC 24, UCLA 14.
Maybe the thought of a perfect drive into a bright blue sky will persuade you that the best alternative to the pressures of life is closer and more affordable than you ever imagined. You'll know after one call to your travel agent that today is the day to make your escape.
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. This telecast is the property of Fox Sports Net. It's a Phillies and Major League Baseball. Any rebroadcast without the express written consent of Fox and Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Do you understand these rights?
It's a little early for pen and fever.
The Dodgers hit Dale Nomo as a force of nature on Fox Sports West 2. Home team's Fox attitude.
There are so many obstacles in the way. And there's always an excuse to quit. It's too hard, too much pressure. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was determined to succeed. If it wasn't basketball, it would be something else. I wanted to do something with my life. And let's face it, if you don't have your high school diploma, you don't have a shot. Stay in school. It's your best move.
Math, a four-letter word, right? Hey, you don't need that. Why design the world's newest chip? When you could be flipping the world's oldest burgers. Hey, wait a minute. This is math. Geometry, algebra. No pocket protectors here. But you're cruising without math. Yeah, right. Take a good look. That's math staring back at you. It's not a problem, man. It's an answer. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.
You're watching the best of USC and UCLA football on Fox Sports West 2.
The voice of the USC Trojans on Prime Ticket, Tom Kelly, just dropped in for a quick visit. Also the voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. How are you doing, Tom? Trojans are ahead, 24-14 over UCLA. That drive. In fact, the Bruins haven't had the ball yet this quarter.
That's right. They took off 10 minutes off the clock.
Almost 11 minutes.
Exactly. A huge drive. 19 plays, 68 yards, and settling for 3 points. But, boy, still 11 minutes off the clock. An awfully big detriment to UCLA's offense.
On the UCLA side of the ledger, they made him get a field goal from Rodriguez and not a touchdown. So that field goal by Rodriguez gives him 52 in his career.
Yeah, that's an awfully... They've had some great kickers at SC. They've had some great kickers at UCLA. But anytime you're breaking records and establishing new ones, it's quite a precedent.
Sean Wills is deep. Runnerstrom kicks off. High, but it doesn't go very far. Wills will field it at the 14. To the 20. Slides ahead to the 22 or 23 and make it the 26-yard line. And that's where the Bruins will take over with the first down. The tackle made by Gideon Merle.
For some time, I've been trying to figure out how I could thank all of you people who have sent me best wishes and your prayers for my recent battle with prostate cancer. It has meant a great deal to me to be hearing from so many of you. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Pennzoil for this time. I also want to tell all you men, please go have your PSA checked.
Join Arnie's Army and fight prostate cancer. When there's action on the beach, the lifeguards call for the action heroes.
Physical training is certainly important.
Shoot, I'm a great swimmer.
But you need to have good equipment as well.
We got Ford Rangers.
One of the best pieces of equipment we have.
I like working with the most handsome men in the world.
I really love the Ford Rangers.
They look good. They make us look good.
Because right now, I got to watch the water.
These Ford Rangers come in, they get me there quicker than anything else.
They're really cool.
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. This telecast is the property of Fox Sports Net. It's a Phillies and Major League Baseball. Any rebroadcast without the express written consent of Fox and Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Do you understand these rights?
It's a little early for pen and fever.
The Dodgers Hideo Nomo is a force of nature on Fox Sports West 2. Home team's Fox attitude. If you haven't seen Extra Sports Live weekday mornings on Fox Sports West 2, you've missed...
It's exciting. My life was exciting. When my football season was just as exciting to me, although it was a down season, but it was very interesting. Puffy, Extra Sports.
One bourbon, one scotch, and one beer. One bourbon and one scotch.
Catch Extra Sports Live weekday mornings from 6 to 9 only on Fox Sports West 2. You're watching the best of USC and UCLA football on Fox Sports West 2.
24-14, SC with a 10-point lead on UCLA. Maddox, his first play in the third quarter. Fires it complete to Brian Brown. Brown picks up a first down, or no, did he step out of bounds? No, he did not. He did get the first down. The tackle is made by the nose guard, Mike Hens.
Well, Brian Brown that time doing a nice job. Maddox getting to him late, probably an outlet receiver, and Brown making the most of it, getting up the field, getting the first down.
Third quarters have not been productive quarters this season for UCLA.
No, they really haven't. They've been a little slow, and SC, of course, chewing up a large portion of this third quarter. Taking up a good 11 minutes almost.
I think when I come back in the next life, I want to be a place kicker in college football. Rarely do you get your uniform dirty.
You never get dirty. You don't have to wear the big pads.
They have a good.
They always have their helmet off.
Always smiling. Most of the time. Alfredo Velasco wasn't smiling.
That's true.
A year ago this time when that 54-yard attempt hit the crossbar and bounced back. Larry Smith refers to the 10-10 tie as a loss. Terry Donahue refers to it as a win. First and 10 now as it's Sean Wills dancing around trying to pick up some yardage, but it's been almost impossible to run against this SC line today. Kirk Barber on the tackle. Ball is placed down at the 37-yard line. Breeze is kicking up here at the Rose Bowl. Noticeable in our TV location on top of the bowl, but maybe it isn't so bad down there on the field. Oh, you can see the flags kicking up. From the shotgun, Maddox retreats, sets up the screen. Sean Wills to the 45, to the 50. Brought down by Marcus Hopkins at the USC 49-yard line. 12 yards on the screen.
Well, at halftime, we mentioned that UCLA might have to go to some draws and screens and really take a little heat off of Maddox. If the rushing game's not there, and SC, of course, is playing good against the run, they need to use that kind of a play, and getting Wills the ball is actually a real good choice. Real active guy, big impact guy, and a lot of speed.
Reggie Moore goes wide to the right side. Maddox is joined in the shotgun by Kevin Smith and Brian Brown. Maddox steps up, fires this on target to Scott Miller. He's at the 30. Miller down to the 20, to the 10, out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Scott Miller. It was the Trojan free safety step on pace that got him out of bounds. 42 yards on the play. Maddox to Scott Miller.
Well, we've talked about Maddox spreading the ball around to the big three. Moore, LaChapelle, and of course Scott Miller, who once again is going to take off and make a big play for the Bruins, using his exceptional speed, getting down the field, getting down to the 9-yard line.
First and goal to go for UCLA at the Southern California 9-yard line. Trojans have a 10-point lead, 24-14. This time the Bruins will operate out of the eye. Play action fake. Maddox will carry. Darts back in and gets to the 5 before he is crunched down. Terry McDaniels riding him on the back down at the 5-yard line. So it'll be second and goal for the Bruins at the USC 5-yard line. Trojans will get another linebacker in there, David Webb. Tommy Maddox looking over that SC defense. Redshirt freshman from Bedford, Texas. Brian Brown, the tailback. The give is to Brown. Into the middle. Touchdown, UCLA. Brian Brown. A top 5-yard run by the senior out of Gardena High School in Carson, California, Brian Brown.
Boy, UCLA that time, Maddox letting the clock again run down inside of 5 seconds, but making the check at the line and giving it to Brian Brown. Brown doing a great job from 5 yards out.
Holding is Tommy Maddox, making the snap Jeff Bailey, and the kicker is Brad Daloiso. Daloiso adds the extra point. And we've got a tight one here in the final minute and 43 seconds of the third quarter. USC 24, UCLA 21. Does not have a bad back. He's just adjusting his hip pads. He's jogging. He's ready to go and do another 5-yard run here.
That's right. Over talking to his cohort, Sean Wills. UCLA with the quick strike offense. 6 plays, 73 yards, and set up by Tommy Maddox's big 42-yarder to Scott Miller, capped off by Brian Brown from 5 yards out.
UCLA with a 5-5 overall record. A win would give them a winning season. A loss would be their second straight losing season. But what a delight it has been to report UCLA games this season with Tommy Maddox. He is such a talented guy. Makes all of the games exciting. Here comes Johnny Morton returning the kickoff. And Morton scrambles for some tough yards up to the 25. Tackled by Brian Lockwood. The Trojans now leading by 3 points, and here comes Todd Marinovich. A minute and a half, 1:38 to be exact, left here in the third quarter. I'm Mike Walden, along with former UCLA quarterback Tom Ramsey. Steve Elkett is our producer, Tom Satursky our director, Dave Walden handling the player identification. Alex Wilson has been with us all season, Jerry Weinstein, Jeff Proctor, Dennis Medition, Jim Sodders, and we thank you all for your assistance throughout this season. You've been invaluable. Marinovich retreating and fires, and he just did get it away. Oh, he was almost sacked by Bruce Walker. Marinovich wanted to get rid of that ball in a hurry and not take the sack.
Marinovich, that time he was, I don't believe one receiver came across the field as he expected, and he had to wait on, I believe it was Wellman up the field, but doing the right thing, just throwing the ball away, not taking a sack or risking an interception on the throw.
USC 24, UCLA 21. The difference right now, a 20-yard field goal by Quinn Rodriguez. Curtis Conway wide to the right side. 2nd and 10 at the 25. The UCLA rooters making a lot of noise. Here comes Mazio Royster, and up the challenge is Darby. Darby gets him with some help from Roman Pfeiffer. And again, leading the way, blocking for Royster, the big offensive guard, number 75, Mark Tucker.
Well, and it is, believe me, it is a huge advantage when you have those big guys up front. And they're running some counter action, meaning the line's blocking one way, they're pulling a guard and a tackle from the other side, and with Tucker and Harlow on the same side and pulling, it makes it awfully tough for the UCLA defense.
Alec Mahone comes in at tight end, so the Trojans will operate with 2 tight ends, Mahone and Crane. Larry Wallace is the split end on 3rd and 1 from the 34. The pitch to Royster. Royster is stopped around the 36-yard line. He might have made the first down. He had to get to the 36 to do it, and it is a first down for USC. The hit on Royster by Michael Williams, and Eric Turner has not played the second half for UCLA.
Now, we got a report that he had a pinched nerve, and I'm not sure if it's his shoulder or his elbow that bothered him, but regardless, he's out of the game, and Michael Williams is filling in for him.
Turner is 6'2", 206. Williams, 5'10", and 176. 1st and 10, Southern California's ball from the Trojan 37. 24-21 game. Marinovich throwing to Wellman, who makes the grab and then steps out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Nice grab by Gary Wellman out of Westlake Village, California. You know, he once ran the 100 meters in 10.37. That's outstanding. Yes. 10.37.
Yeah, it really is outstanding. And with that kind of speed, that put him 3rd in the Pac-10 with 47 catches on the year, but and actually a big average, a 17-yard average. So he is a lot like Scott Miller, that same kind of breakaway speed and big playability.
His brother Glenn played for Larry Smith when Larry was the head coach at Arizona. Royster tries the left side, or it's Lockwood. Lockwood gets up to about the 48. Corey Whalen is in there for UCLA. Larry Smith and the Trojans on top, 24-21. 6 seconds left in the third quarter. But this has really been an outstanding game, and it lives expectations of SC UCLA week. And that's it for the third period as Donahue and Neuheisel talk it over. 24-21 SC. And Gary Wellman has just moved ahead of one of the outstanding players in USC football history, Lynn Swann. 96 catches in Gary Wellman's 4 years at USC. The Trojans 24 and UCLA 21. UCLA needs a win here today for a winning season. And the last time UCLA had back-to-back losing seasons, 1963 and 64. Here comes Mazio Royster, and he stopped at the 41-yard line, tackled by Roman Pfeiffer. And we just get word in our headset that Eric Turner is finished for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I'm sure that takes away from the Bruin defense. Eric, of course, being the captain of the UCLA defense and the leading tackler on that defense. So with his departure, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Michael Williams.
But the Bruins did not have their 3 down linemen against Washington, Shalinsky and Tuala and Kelly, and yet they went up there and beat the Huskies 25-22, and Turner will be a spectator for the rest of this game. Royster goes to the 36-yard line. Matt Darby, the strong safety, makes the tackle.
USC once again just chewing up yards and really grinding it out. First down, electing to run the ball again, but they're picking up 5 yards of crack.
You know, I'm watching Mazio Royster, and I'm saying to myself, does he remind you of O.J. Simpson? No, he's not that big. Does he remind you of Anthony Davis? No, he's bigger than Davis. Does he remind you of Clarence Davis? No. Marcus Allen? No, he's got his own style.
Yeah, and that's unique to him, of course, and he's doing a great job. Ricky Irvins, of course, runs like a little bowling ball, but he can't be in there, and Royster taking control.
Royster trying to make the cut, lost his footing, and right on top of him was Malone and Damian Lyons.
Like you said, Royster started the season really third on the depth chart, so he really came out of nowhere, but it's a tribute, of course, to SC. They've had such great tailbacks in the past, of course, Charlie White as well, Marcus Allen, a whole slew of them, and they're going to find somebody to rush the ball back there. They have guys lining up waiting to carry it.
Maybe the closest SC running back that I can remember the last 20 years might be that Royster reminds me a little bit of Charles White. 3rd and 2 at the 33. You didn't make any comment. I guess you don't agree.
Well, I think they're all great players in their own right.
Here comes Marinovich, and he's going to be sacked. James Malone. Malone, the junior out of Dallas, Texas. That's the second time today Marinovich has been sacked.
Well, that's what the UCLA defense needs to do. Put pressure on Marinovich when he's passing, and they really need to tighten up the run defense. But right there, a big play by the UCLA defense. We're going to see Malone from his weak side, inside linebacker position. He's just reading pass, but he's running through, making the hit on Marinovich.
Ron Dale ready to punt to Scott Miller. Dale gets a high boomer. That'll go way deep into the end zone, in fact, beyond the end line. Thus, the Bruins will start out at their 20. Little over 12 minutes left in this game, and it's a tight one. 3-point advantage, US 24-21, USC. 12 minutes, 11 seconds left in this game.
Well, the second half, a lot of time chewed up by the SC offense, rushing the ball, but UCLA with their quick strike offense really needed to win here.
I just mentioned that a couple of minutes ago, that if the Bruins don't get a win today, it'll be their first back-to-back losing seasons since 63 and 64.
That's right. This game's such a big game for UCLA.
And maybe with a win over the Trojans, they could get a bid to the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee. SC is headed for the Sun Bowl or the John Hancock Bowl in El Paso. Maddox has the ball tipped, and it's intercepted. Jason Oliver. Oliver runs it back, and he will score. Touchdown. Jason Oliver, 33 yards USC. Jason Oliver, a true freshman. His mother died of cancer in September. His father died of tuberculosis in October. And look, in the biggest game in his career, he picks off this deflected pass and runs it back 33 yards down the sidelines for a USC score.
Well, the ball's not tipped only once. It's tipped twice. And Oliver just staying with the bounce of the ball ends up making a great play.
That is the third interception today that the Trojans have been able to pull off against Tommy Maddox. The extra point by Quinn Rodriguez, and he puts it through. So we still have 12 minutes left in this game, and the Trojans once again have a 10-point lead, 31-21. Intercepted pass in the flats has been a big play for USC. Step on pace to start the game. Now Jason Oliver. Then the fumble by Maddox, and Marinovich goes in from a yard out. So really the Trojans are given 3 gift touchdowns. And they lead it 31-21. Sean Wills down the sideline. Sean Wills is pulled out around the 45. Excellent return, and the tackle is made by Willie McGinnis.
Well, like you said, Mike, the scoring results from costly turnovers, and in a big game like this, awfully tough for a team to come back after having some big mistakes. But Tommy Maddox, who's led the Bruins back all season long, right there, saying it's against the Trojans, but with the ability to definitely bring the Bruins back from a 10-point deficit.
So despite Maddox 3 interceptions and a fumble, as long as Maddox...
Personal foul, defense, 15 yards, first down.
Personal foul against the Trojans. As long as Maddox can throw as well as he has shown this season, the Bruins are still in this game, although right now UCLA is trails by 10 points.
Right there, and you see, look at the total plays, SC outnumbering them by quite a bit. Maddox just looking left the whole way, trying to get the ball to Reggie Moore, and the ball is actually tipped by Pace, and it's tipped again by Reggie Moore, and Jason Oliver just staying with the bounce of the ball, and Pace leading the way into the end zone.
Now the Bruins with a first down at the Southern California 40-yard line. Still a lot of time left. 11:56 to play. Sean LaChapelle in motion. Maddox steps up, fires the pass, incomplete. He was going for Scott Miller down around the 25-yard line. Moore was downfield around the 18.
Well, Sean Wills with a great return on the kickoff, and then plus aided by the big 15-yard penalty really gives UCLA a great chance right here. Plus 40-yard line, and right there you see Maddox 4 interceptions returned for TDs this season, and he had a real costly one against the University of Arizona that right at the end of the game that really cost them the win.
Darrell Lewis. Maddox is 18 out of 28 so far today for 265 yards. This one is dumped off to Kevin Smith. And Smith gets to the 31, tackled by Don Gibson. So the Bruins now will be faced with a 3rd-and-1 situation with the ball at the 36-yard line.
And Maddox that time with a little kind of a dipsy-do to Smith that time.
Maddox's best game yardage has been the afternoon against Michigan, 353 yards. Kevin Smith. And he stopped right at the 30-yard line, a pickup of 1. He did not get the first down. He had to get to the 29. Here's the interception by...
Once again, I don't know if there was a question of
Jason Oliver.
Oliver stepping out of bounds, but...
Very close, isn't it?
Very close. 2 referees right there, though.
Goes into the books as a 33-yard return and a touchdown for Jason Oliver. Oh, he did get it. The Bruins got a very favorable mark of that ball. So now UCLA on on this beautiful November afternoon in Pasadena with a first down at the Southern California 29. Trojans get 5 defensive backs in there. Howard McCowan comes in as the nickelback. USC 31, UCLA 21. Maddox from the spread. Throws long and deep for Scott Miller. Touchdown, UCLA! Yards. Maddox to Scott Miller. Anytime you've got Tommy Maddox in a game, third quarter, fourth quarter, you've got a chance. And the Bruins have a chance.
Well, I tell you what, we've talked about their quick strike offense, and Scott Miller just running a post right between the safeties, and Maddox just delivering the ball right on time. Once again, Scott Miller with a huge play. Tommy Maddox with a great throw.
The kick by Brad D'Aloiso. It is good. So UCLA comes charging right back, and it's a 3-point spread once again in favor of USC.
Having your car stolen can be a real blow. You work hard for these things. That's why Farmers Insurance is all about getting things back to the way they once were. From the way policies are written to the way claims are handled, everything we do is about getting you back behind the wheel. It's what we think auto insurance should be about. Let's face it, if somebody really wants your car, they're going to get it. But with Farmers, we can at least help get you back where you belong.
Ball on Fox Sports West 2.
Has now caught 5 balls today for 102 yards and a touchdown. On the season, Scott Miller has 8 touchdown catches to his credit.
Right there you see Maddox just standing in the pocket and really firing the ball. Miller running the post route, celebrating another big UCLA touchdown.
54 yards in 4 plays, 29 yards Maddox to Miller.
Well, they really don't take up much time compared to SC.
And remember, Miller missed the first 3 games of this season with a fractured collarbone. I'm not saying had they had Miller, they would have beaten Oklahoma and Michigan, but it might have been a closer score, certainly.
Yeah, he sure brings an awful lot of speed and excitement to the UCLA offense. Not that it lacks any to begin with, but once again, Miller making a great play.
Scott Miller, a 23-year-old senior from El Toro. This is Curtis Conway. Conway covers that ball as he gets to the 25-yard line. And the tackle was made by Matt Darby. Now the UCLA defense saying to themselves, okay, we're down to 10 minutes and 40 seconds. We are down by 3 points, 31-28. Maybe it's time for the defense to get and force a turnover.
Well, they've had opportunities all day, and of course the one where Quinn Rodriguez followed up with a field goal, Carlton Gray dropping an interception in the end zone.
Started this half. In the third quarter, UCLA on defense for 11 minutes of the third quarter. The Trojans controlled it that much. This is Royster going to the outside. And Royster pulled down and tackled. Bob Crane had a key block for Royster going around the right side. Emmanuel Onwatwebi put him down.
Well, once again, SC just running that counter play, and Royster running behind Tucker and Harlow again and getting a good 8 yards out of it.
I wonder if Royster has been thrown for a loss today. I don't think so. No, he is not. He has 26 carries today for 147 yards. Raul Spears is the SC fullback. It is Royster into the middle. And Walker has got him, and on the bottom of the pile for UCLA is Meach Shaw. 9:44 to go. USC 31, UCLA 28. I'm Mike Walden along with Tom Ramsey. We're here in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. This could be the Bruins' last game of 1990. They got a win for a winning season and a possible bid to the Liberty Bowl. Short by that much. USC will face Notre Dame in the Coliseum next Saturday. And then Michigan State New Year's Eve in El Paso, Texas, the John Hancock Bowl. Here comes Lockwood in. Alec Mahone also in for the Trojans. They need a yard for a first down. Travis Hanna goes wide to the right side. I would guess he'd be just a decoy. It's Lockwood. He's got the first down and they fumble the ball, and the Bruins have it. Dion Lambert. The Bruins get a break.
What happened?
Fumble by Scott Lockwood.
What happened? Marinovich and Lockwood have an exchange problem. I don't think Lockwood ever gets the handle. You see him looking for the ball, and Lambert right there to catch the ball in midair, and he almost took off running with it, but the Trojans lucky to get him down, and just a mishandled handoff. Big play, 3rd and an inch, and Dion Lambert right there to make a big play.
Now the Bruins, can they capitalize on this opportunity? 1st and 10, UCLA, the ball at the Southern California 37-yard line. Maddox from the shotgun. Looks to his right. Now he's going to go long and deep for Scott Miller. Miller's got a touchdown! UCLA! By Scott Miller, 38 yards.
I tell you what, Tommy Maddox, this is how you grow up in a hurry. Against SC, just stand in there and throw a deep post, and Miller's going to outrace 2 defenders, and he's going to make a tremendous catch of this ball.
There's Marcus Hopkins right with him.
And he has it tucked away. Once again, the ground cannot cause a fumble. Miller knows he has it. That's a touchdown for UCLA.
Daloiso for the extra point. It's good again, and the Bruins take the lead. It is UCLA 35, USC 31 with 9:17 to go.
You all forget yourself a bottle of A-ball. The number 1 my nigga that is called A-ball. Now I'm caught up in the rapture, coming with the boot that growls like a tiger. If one ain't enough, 2 will be a lot flyer. Need a tongue pleaser, don't settle for a teaser. 8 balls, even better, ice cold from the free. Grab as many as you want, G, cause we got the best smoke liquor in the country. Round and round it goes, drink it up, drink it up. Straight from the bottle, no need for the cup. So all you other brews better act like you know who's number 1. So pieces I gotta go, that you call A-ball.
This is weird. It's great, but it's weird.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, buddy, I know you're still covering that game in Chicago or New York or was it Atlanta? Anyway, listen, I haven't been able to get over to your place for quite a while. I kind of had this ugly unicycle accident, and I can't really move well. Anyway, don't worry about your 2 bunnies, Sam and Harriet. I left them plenty of food and water last time I was there. They should be fine.
Fox Sports News, we are there covering your home team. The Dodgers, only on Fox Sports West 2.
Hey, take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. What?
Need a lefty. I need a lefty. Hit the showers, kid. Take it home, big fella.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He had to do it. The guy had nothing left.
Raul Mondesi and the Dodgers on Fox Sports West 2. Home team's Fox attitude. You're watching the best of USC and UCLA football on Fox Sports West 2.
One of the men of the hour, Scott Miller. 2 touchdown grabs today.
Well, Maddox knows he has it right when he throws it. And Scott Miller just running past.
And Scott
2
Miller.
safety men. That's right. Scott Miller just making a fabulous play over Marcus Hopkins, number 2, Calvin Holmes, number 21. And Miller, the ground cannot cause a fumble right there. Miller puts it away. Good for the touchdown.
So the Bruins have a 4-point lead now at 35-31 over USC, but a lot of time left. 9-17. Miller today has caught 6 balls for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, it really goes to show you how costly those turnovers are. Lockwood fumbling the handoff from Marinovich, and Maddox to Miller once again.
Conway at the 6. Into the center of the field. Conway hit hard at the 21-yard line. I'll say this, there are more UCLA people here in the Rose Bowl than SC, and the UCLA fans are really into the game now.
And we're going to see at the top of the screen Scott Miller. He's just taking off, running a post route, and Calvin Holmes, number 21, has him off the line, but really Marcus Hawkins, he's responsible for deep duty, and he's just not there. Miller runs right by him for the touchdown.
Ball is at the 21-yard line. Split backs for Todd Marinovich. Marinovich and the Trojans are trailing 35-31. Marinovich, his pass is caught by Wellman at the 28. Wellman out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 15 yards on the pass play. Marinovich to Wellman. Damian Lyons getting him out of bounds.
Well, USC countering with their own Mr. Quick, Gary Wellman.
Coming into this game, UCLA had been averaging 26 points a game, and USC 28 points a game.
Very interesting. The Trojans 0-3 when allowing 30 or more points in any game this season.
Well, UCLA has 35. 35-31. 9 minutes to play. Great tackle by Emmanuel Onwatwebi, the UCLA nose guard. Onwatwebi on Royster.
Manny Onwatwebi, he gives away a little weight, but he sure makes up for it in quickness and desire. Jacob Burney, the defensive line coach, claiming how Onwatwebi awfully quick, and right there you see just getting back into the Trojan backfield, making a big hit.
The Bruins leading 35-31, 8.5 minutes to go. Travis Hanna, a speed burner, goes wide to the right side. Wellman is to the left. Marinovich to throw, and he overthrows his man, Morton. It was Bob Crane in the area, and the pass was too tall for Crane, and Lambert really put a lick on Crane.
Well, right now, the UCLA defense really playing inspired football. They have a lead. They can really be aggressive and come after them, and right there, Lambert with another big play. A little play action by Marinovich, trying to get the ball to his tight end, and ball a little bit high, and Lambert right there to come through and make another big play.
Stats on Marinovich, he's 10 out of 16 for 105 yards. Wellman in the slot to the left. Gary Wellman in motion. Here comes pressure from Pfeiffer. Marinovich gets rid of it, throws it away in front of the UCLA bench. Pfeiffer and Darby really applied the heat to Marinovich. Darby helps him up. Marinovich says, thank you, I can do it myself.
Darby probably said, that's okay, I'll help you out just so I can hit you again.
4th and 10 for the Trojans. 8:13 left. UCLA 35, USC 31. And the spark for the Bruins, the passing of Tommy Maddox here in the second half. 2 touchdown throws to Scott Miller. The punt by Dale. Backs up Miller all the way to the 18. Miller trying to get a path up the sidelines. Miller up to the 40, to the 50, and Dale gets him out of bounds. But a penalty marker has been dropped back here at the 21, and the Trojans say the penalty will be against UCLA. Jim Springer, the referee, will sort it all out. Certainly a fine return, a clip against UCLA.
Boy, an awfully tough break. Miller once again taking control of a game, and It's too bad this one's going to be nullified, but another great return, and really an exciting athlete once he handles the ball.
Half the distance to the goal line for the penalty here, and that'll give UCLA a first down, but the Bruins are going to be backed up all the way to their 11-yard line. Let's see if we can pick up the clip.
Right there, it's number 44, I believe, on number 44. That's
Pat McPherson.
McPherson on Webb. Miller just tiptoeing up the sideline.
All right, Bruins with a first down. With the ball close to the 11-yard line. Out of the shotgun, the inside handoff. Not much there for Brian Brown.
Interesting, USC electing to blitz that time, bringing the strong safety, Hopkins, and they really have stayed away from the blitz all day, but they figure now, hey, we've sat back, and he's beat us on the deep throw. Maddox on the day, 21 of 31, 340 yards.
You've got 7.5 minutes left in this game. The Bruins lead at 35-31. If UCLA goes conservative and tries to protect that lead, that could be the wrong direction to follow.
That's true.
2nd and 11. Miller in motion. Maddox will throw on 2nd down. Across the middle, and he completes it to Scott Miller. Tackled by Scott Ross. Miller with another grab here today.
That's right. He can beat you underneath. He can beat you deep. And right there, Coach Homer Smith, knowing that you can't sit on the ball against the Trojans, they have such you got to respect their defense, and yet their offense has been able to eat up a large portion of the clock today. But UCLA with a quick strike offense facing a tough 3rd down right now.
Some impressive stats for Scott Miller. 145 yards, 7 receptions. Timeout has been called here. UCLA calls a timeout. 6:45 to go, and when we come back, it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Bruins with the ball on the 14. 6:45 left in this game. Neuheisel and Maddox, LaChapelle gathered around Rick Neuheisel. Homer Smith is the offensive coordinator. He's in the press box calling down the plays to Neuheisel, who will signal it in to the official. Earlier we were talking about games and going down memory lane. All UCLA fans remember the 1965 game. Gary Beeben throwing 2 touchdown passes in the 4th quarter, including this one to Kurt Altenberg. The other one went to Witcher, and the Bruins pulled it out. Mike Garrett had a great game that day, over 200 yards. And yet UCLA came from a 16-6 deficit and won it 20-16. That was in 1965. Well, now 3rd and 6. If you don't get the first down, Tyler will punt. The Trojans will get the ball at midfield.
Well, I think right here UCLA taking a timeout because they realize how important this down is. They want to get to the best play they have on the game plan, and if they convert this first down, they just take more minutes off that precious clock.
UCLA, 1 less timeout left in the game. USC has all 3 of theirs remaining. Sean LaChapelle in motion. Maddox throws it, and it's dropped by Scott Miller. The pass was thrown behind Miller a little bit. And now it'll be 4th down, and the Bruins will have to punt it away. 6:41 left.
That time Tommy Maddox, he had Scott Miller open, just not able to get him the ball.
Tyler had 1 punt of 52 yards today. Curtis Conway standing at the 48, and Scott Lockwood at the 40. John Winnick to make the snap. Here's Kyler's punt. And Lockwood will field it at the 46 to the 50-yard line. And he's hit and dropped as he falls forward to about the 47. John Winnick, who made the snap, got downfield the quickest, and he made the tackle. And an SC player is shaken up there at the 48-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go. Looks like it's Jason Oliver. It is. He ran back an intercepted pass 33 yards for a touchdown. Dr. Chester Simmel of SC and veteran trainer Jack Ward. 6.5 minutes left. UCLA 35 and USC 31. Trojans go against Notre Dame next Saturday at the Coliseum, and then the Sun Bowl, or John Hancock Bowl if you prefer, date against Michigan State on the 31st of December. USC will play their first 2 games in 1991 at the Coliseum. September the 14th, Penn State, and then September the 21st, Arizona State. First game for UCLA in 1991 against BYU, Ty Detmer. That'll be September the 7th. Then they go on the road for 2 at Tennessee, open date, and then at San Diego State. Marinovich steps back, pumps once, and dishes it off to Lockwood. He doesn't have the ball. Lockwood was there, and the ball is picked up by Dion Lambert. Marinovich is pointing out something. One intercepted pass by Marinovich, but he's thrown only 18 times.
So he really hasn't had to throw the ball an awful lot today. They've had a good ground game, and Arnold Ale that time making a nice play on Lockwood out in the flat.
Now it is 2nd and 10 at the 47. UCLA 35, USC 31. Marinovich will keep. Now he pitches back, and Royster is stopped. Back at the 48, Dion Lambert. So the UCLA defense minus Eric Turner here in the second half. They've had to rise to the occasion, and fellows like Michael Williams and Dion Lambert and Damian Lyons rising.
That's right. Players sense anytime they lose one of their comrades, and Eric Turner, of course, a big part of this defense, but Dion Lambert, Pfeiffer right there forcing the pitch, and Lambert just coming up with 3 excellent plays so far in the second half.
Talk about your big third down plays. Here's one for SC. 3rd and 10 for the Trojans. The ball at the 47 of UCLA. Marinovich has time. Pumps once and fires it across the middle. It is caught. And knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. The catch is made by Johnny Morton. 14 yards and a first down for Southern California.
Morton just got hammered once he caught the ball, and Marinovich took a good shot when he threw the ball into Trevi right there to put some pressure on.
5:36 left. UCLA 35, USC 31. The official attendance today, 98,088. 98,088. Royster slips one tackle. He gets through that hole so quickly, doesn't look like it's much of a gain. You look up to, oh, well, he's gained 4 or 5 yards.
UCLA that time a little soft at the point of attack, really not forcing in the run defense, and Royster there to pick up a few yards on first down.
Finally, Stacey Argo made the tackle for the Bruins. Ball is at the 29 of UCLA. 2nd down and 6. Trojans ball. UCLA leading 35-31. 5 minutes left in this game. Royster. And Royster goes to the 25-yard line. Argo leading the defensive surge. Grim-faced Larry Smith looking on. His team down by 4 points, but driving. 3rd and 1 now for the Trojans at the 24. And I thought if I could read his lips, he was talking about a 4th down in case they didn't get it on this play. So maybe they've called 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, I'm sure they're in a 4-down territory. That's a good point, Mike. I'm sure they've talked about that. They really, no chance kicking a field goal. They have to go for a 4th down play in this situation.
Wallace wide to the right, and Curtis Conway wide to the left. The give is to Royster. Royster is wrapped up at the 24-yard line. Arnold Ale, I don't know whether he got it or not. Ale made the hit. And let's see where the officials spot the ball. The referee, Jim Springer, calls for a referee's timeout for a measurement. I think perhaps he got it. Let's see as they stretch out the chains. Nope, did not. Ooh. Fourth and about a half yard.
This is what great games are made of right here.
Royster isn't concerned about that right now, that graphic. That'll come next week against Notre Dame if he doesn't get it here today. Royster, the Trojans are concerned about the scoreboard. Clock is moving, 3:50 to play. UCLA 35, USC 31. It's 4th and 1 at the 24 of UCLA. Spears and Royster are the running backs. It is Spears, and maybe by twisting in that second surge, he got the first down. He did. First down for USC. Had he not been able to spin out, he would have been hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped.
Well, they give it to the big fullback, Spears.
He goes 235.
That's right. 4th and a couple inches. Arnold Ollie, number 89, stacking it up. Darby right there, but Spears just rolling off the pile, an inch and a half for the first down.
Now you have to keep your eye on the clock. 3.5 minutes left. The Trojans, they can't afford a field goal here. They got to go for it all. 35-31, 1st and 10 SC. The ball at the 21 of UCLA. Marinovich throwing into the corner of the end zone. It's touchdown! Johnny Morton. 21 yards. Marinovich to Morton. Morton made the grab. The question was, would he come down inbounds or out of bounds? He was over in the corner.
Well, Marinovich right here just getting the ball out early, and Morton just running up the sideline. Deion Lambert really doesn't know where the ball is, and Morton making a fine catch, being able to stay in bounds and haul it in for the touchdown.
That's the second touchdown this season for Johnny Morton, a redshirt freshman from South High School in Torrance. And the Trojans take the lead. Here's the extra point by Rodriguez, and it is good. So if you like a free-wheeling, high-scoring affair, then this is your cup of tea. The Trojans now lead it 38-35, and watch the catch again by Johnny Morton.
Right there, Johnny Morton just with a little stutter step. Deion Lambert just losing track of the ball, and Morton there making a fine catch. What's interesting, though, you see Marinovich's reaction. Mike, I believe USC might have scored too quick. I mean, you end up giving the ball back to UCLA. UCLA with 2 timeouts.
You make a valid point. We still have 3 minutes and 9 seconds left. And there are 2 guys over in the sidelines who have a great degree of confidence in their ability. The M&M combination, Maddox and Miller. So this game is far from over right now. 3:09 left. You can see why, if you've been following us on this telecast, why SC and UCLA is something special. Trojans now with the lead at 38-35. Hugs and congratulations to Johnny Morton. And now the SC fans are making a lot of noise. Sean Wills awaiting the kickoff by Runderstrom. And Wills, I know, is thinking, get up that sideline as fast as I can and get good field position. Good kickoff by Runderstrom, however. Carries him all the way back to the 4. Sean Wills up to the 20 and up close to the 25-yard line. Tackle is made by Marcel Brown. Congratulations all around for Morton, but the game is not over yet. The Trojans going 47 yards in 8 plays. Marinovich to Morton. And here comes Tommy Maddox. And listen to the cheer from the UCLA Rooters. Maddox in the pressure cooker once again. He's got Sean Wills and Brian Brown with him in the shotgun. A first down from the Bruin 25. LaChapelle in motion. Maddox puts it up for Scott Miller. Miller's got the ball out of bounds at the 46. 6-yard line. Howard McCowan gets Miller out of bounds at the USC 46. 29 more yards for Scott Miller.
Well, I tell you what, Scott Miller's just going to run up the field. He's gone to the post time and again. This time he's going to go to the corner, and Maddox just delivers another strike right on the money to Scott Miller.
Now the Bruins will have a first down at the 46 of USC. Again from the spread formation. Tommy Maddox completes it to Reggie Moore at the 32-yard line. Calvin Holmes made the tackle. Another first down for UCLA.
Well, this is when UCLA is at its best. Maddox delivering the ball to the 3 big receivers, Moore, Miller, and LaChapelle, and really just chewing up the yardage right here.
What if it comes down that the Bruins couldn't get in? Would they go for the field goal? After all, it was a tie last year, 10-10.
I don't think you settle for a tie in this game. And right there, you see Tommy Maddox, a career high, and he's 9 yards off the record held by Steve Bono in a single game, 399 yards.
Maddox running to the 30, the 25, the 20, out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Another first down for UCLA. 2.5 minutes left. And Brad Daloiso is lining up for a practice field goal attempt, just in case.
Well, I know as coaches and as an ex-player, you sure as heck don't want to settle for a field goal in this game. You want to come away with a W, and really that's on the mind of every player out there right now. They do not want to settle for a field goal.
The ball is spotted down at the 21-yard line of USC. Reggie Moore to the right side. Scott Miller to the left. Fake handoff. Maddox across the middle to Reggie Moore. He's at the 10-yard line of the Trojans. Another first down for UCLA. Jason Oliver made the tackle for the Trojans.
Well, we've talked about Scott Miller so much, and the other guy on the other side compliments him so well. Reggie Moore right there with a great catch in his back pocket, but coming down with the ball, he's had a big game as well.
Maddox, 25 out of 36, 400 yards. That's a new UCLA record.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I'm sure Maddox, he stays healthy and in around for a couple of years. He's going to break all the records.
Reggie Moore has caught 7 today. He caught 8 against Stanford. Maddox across the middle. No good to Reggie Moore. Oh, did he have a lot of mustard on that throw? And he had to, because he was throwing it into some heavy traffic.
Well, the heavy traffic was, yes, I saw a lot of heavy traffic. Also, Maddox, he's going to step up and really, I believe he's trying to get it to Reggie Moore, and Corwin Anthony was coming across the middle and got a hand on it.
Now it is 2nd and goal. The ball right at the 10-yard line. 2:05 to play. USC 38, UCLA 35. Maddox throwing across the middle to LaChapelle. And LaChapelle is going to be stopped at the 1-yard line. He was hit at the 1. They mark his forward progress there, although he was driven back to the 3. So now it'll be 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line. So the Bruins will get at least 1 chance, or maybe 2 if they go for the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm sure from a foot away, you just can't settle for it. LaChapelle, once again, a big receiver. He's going to just sit down right over the middle of the ball. Maddox puts the ball on top of him. Actually, his foot was in the end zone, but they're going to mark him down on the 1-foot line.
All right, 3rd and goal. The ball less than a yard away from a UCLA touchdown. Touchdown, Kevin Smith. UCLA. Kevin Smith is 6'4", 246 pounds. He would not be denied.
Well,
watch it again.
This is just a great play by Kevin Smith. Like you said, Mike, big load Kevin Smith. He takes the ball and he's jumped. No question about it. He breaks the plane at the goal line. Touchdown, UCLA.
Now, have the Bruins scored too early? We still have 1 minute and 19 seconds left.
Of course, that's another great point.
Daloiso lines up for the extra point. Jeff Bailey to make the snap. Daloiso's kick perfect once again. And the Bruins lead by 4, 42-38. shootout at the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl is not at stake. Washington will represent the Pac-10. The Pac-10 championship is not at stake. The Huskies already have wrapped that up. The national championship is not at stake, except the bragging rights in Los Angeles.
You bet. And this game looms also very big in recruiting. Whoever wins this game lands a lot of the Southern California recruits in UCLA, of course, with a big play right there. Kevin Smith going over.
Daloiso's kickoff is fielded by Conway, a yard deep. He'll run it off. Curtis Conway to the 20. Moves straight ahead to the 25-yard line. Curtis Conway, a true freshman from Los Angeles. And now the Trojans take over with the first down. The ball at the USC 25.
Well, Marinovich hasn't. We noted that he hadn't thrown a lot until that last drive. You're going to see 3 timeouts remaining, but they got to get the ball up the field. They only have 1:13 left, and it's going to require some passing, definitely on the part of Marinovich.
And Southern California has to score a touchdown. Field goal's not going to do them any good. Tommy Maddox over on the sidelines. You don't see any celebrating on the UCLA sideline. They realize the Trojans are ever dangerous. 1 minute and 13 seconds left. There's Derek Stevens trying to lead some cheers. 42-38 UCLA. Marinovich fires it off, and it is complete. Weister made the grab, but he only got a couple of yards.
That's what UCLA wants to do. Make the tackle inbounds. Just give him a couple of yards. That's fine. I'm sure Coach Bob Field, he says, that's okay. We'll give him a few yards.
The Trojans have 3 timeouts left. UCLA has 2. Marinovich. Clock is down to 48 seconds to pass. Overthrown. It was intended for Johnny Morton down at the 48-yard line. 44 seconds left. 3rd and 7 for Southern California. They spot the ball down at the 28-yard line. 44 seconds left. Here comes Larry Wallace into the game for Larry Smith. Marinovich, 13 out of 22, 143 yards, and a touchdown. 1 has been intercepted. On 3rd and 7, Marinovich steps up, pumps once, across the middle. It's caught by Wellman at the 45. Wellman is pulled down at the 45-yard line of UCLA. 27 yards on the pass play. And the Trojans have a first down with 36 seconds left.
Wow. Wellman, with his speed,
almost got away.
That's right. Lambert makes a great shoestring tackle, or else Wellman, who you mentioned his speed early on, but he's a guy that's definitely a game breaker.
Now the Trojans call a timeout. That's their first one this half. SC still has 2 timeouts remaining. With 36 seconds left, the score, UCLA 42, USC 38. Well, the Trojans have made a habit out of winning close games. Can they pull another one out of the hat? UCLA 42, USC 38. Some anxious moments along the Bruins sideline. Although you wouldn't know it from looking at Scott Miller. He's very cool, calm, and collected. The Trojans with a first down at the UCLA 45. Hanna and Wellman. Wellman in motion. Marinovich not getting a lot of heat. Steps up and fires this one. Caught by Wellman. Wellman is loose at the 25 and finally goes down at the 24-yard line. 26 seconds. 22 yards on the pass play. Marinovich to Wellman. Dion Lambert made the tackle. And USC calls another timeout. Now they are down to their last timeout. And Marinovich walks over slowly for a conference with Larry Smith. 26 seconds left. The Trojans with a first down at the 24-yard line of UCLA. And remember,
Thursday on Fox Sports West 2. Get your pregame info live on Fox Sports News at 6, followed by Dodgers Dugout at 6:30. Then it's the best of the bigs when the Dodgers face the Giants at 7. And stay tuned after the game for Fox Sports News.
First and 10. The ball at the 23 of UCLA. Now Wellman has made 2 key grabs. Would Marinovich go to him again or use Wellman as a decoy?
Well, I tell you what, the way they're pitching and catching, I think I would want to throw it to Wellman. He's been catching some tough balls, but...
What about trying to put the blitz and the heat on Marinovich?
Well, I am an advocate of the blitz, and you know, at this point, though, they've gotten themselves into a position where they can really take 4 shots at the end zone. They really, or they can inch it away. I mean, they can pick up some, and I'm sure that's what they're talking about right now. Do they go into the end zone now and take a couple shots at it, or do they try and keep working their way towards the end zone?
The USC offensive coordinator is John Matsko. Ray Doerr calling down the plays from the press box. 1st and 10 at the UCLA 23-yard line. And this time the Trojans go out of the shotgun. Marinovich, he's got time, gets rid of it, throws it, it is caught. Touchdown, Johnny Morton. 23 yards for the touchdown. And Terry Donahue is stunned. And look at the mob scene in the corner of the end zone. Seconds left. Has this been a game? Legends are made of such.
I mean, just a great catch by Morton. That's not a bad toss by Marinovich either.
Marinovich putting the ball in there for Johnny Morton, and Marinovich is now 16 of 25 for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both of them going to Johnny Morton, the 19-year-old redshirt freshman. One in one corner in the end zone and another in the opposite corner. All right, here comes the extra point by Quinn Rodriguez. Pat O'Hara to hold. Mark Rapp to make the snap. It's right through. 16 seconds left in this one. The Trojans go back on top, 45-42, thanks to the pass from Marinovich, spotting Horton in the corner of the end zone.
You're going to see Morton at the bottom of your screen. He's going to run what's called a post corner. He's going to fake as though he's going to the post, come back out of it, and Marinovich is going to get pressured, I believe, by Pfeiffer on the play, but stands in and makes a great throw. I thought the ball was overthrown, but Morton just making a great catch. Right over the top of Michael Williams for the touchdown.
Now remember, Williams in there in the second half for the injured Eric Turner. Pass is put right there by Marinovich. And a great catch by Morton to haul it in.
We're going to see from the end zone copy, Williams subbing in for Eric Turner. Just a little late to the ball. Morton making a great catch.
This sounds strange. This game may not be over yet. Maddox and Miller, always a potent threat. But this would border now on the miraculous with 16 seconds left. Marinovich, he didn't know if he'd completed the pass or not till they told him. He got knocked down as he released the ball. Grant Runderstrom is getting ready to kick off, but now SC has called for a timeout, and they're huddling around Larry Smith.
They must have had a penalty because maybe for some overzealous celebration, they moved him back 15 yards. Or now kicking off from the 20. Like you said, Mike, this game might not be over.
45-42 USC. And it may come down to the team that's got the ball last wins the game. Meanwhile, Terry Donahue huddling with his troops. Boy, this will make an old man out of you in a hurry, huh? If you're a coach in this game.
4.5 an announcer.
What about the wives of the two coaches? I always think of the wives and their families up in the stands. Coaches get immune to this. Well, not immune, but they're used to it. I mean, this is their profession. Donahue in his 15th year at UCLA. And it may be the first time since 63 and 64 back-to-back losing seasons for UCLA. But Terry Donahue and UCLA still have 16 seconds left. And remember, the clock will not start until the ball has been touched in the field of play. It's touched by Daly. And it's down on one knee at the 39-yard line. That was a smart play. That'll stop the clock with 11 seconds left. So the Bruins have one more shot, maybe two.
So the Bruins with 2 timeouts left, but really, you have a chance to run 2 plays. That's what it boils down to. They could pick up a big play down the middle and call a timeout and still have one shot at the end zone. And that's really the only shot they have. But they can get off 2 plays with 11 seconds left.
Now, did the Trojans play the prevent defense and rush maybe 3 men? Can you give Maddox that luxury?
It looks as though SC's going to rush 4. They've been rushing 4 the entire day. They may elect to rush 3, but right there you see 4 guys getting ready to bear down.
LaChapelle is in the slot to the left. Maddox steps up, fires the pass, and it is no good to Scott Miller at the 38-yard line. 6 seconds left. Another shot for Tommy Maddox. USC 45, UCLA 44. The Trojans are just 6 ticks away from an 8-2-1 overall record, 5-2-1 in the Pac-10. Remember, Cal tied SC at the Coliseum. SC was annihilated by the Huskies up in Seattle 31-0 in September, then lost at the Coliseum to Arizona. Play is being brought in from the sidelines by Michael Moore. 6 seconds to go. Miller is wide to the left side. Maddox looking in that direction. He's getting heat. He puts it up in the air. This one could be picked off. It is batted around into the ground, and that's the final play. USC comes from behind in the closing seconds and knocks off UCLA in a wild one, 45-42. Congratulations to the Trojans, and another tough, bitter defeat for Terry Donahue and Bruin fans. There's the hero for the Trojans, Johnny Morton, and Jimmy Bonds with a few words of encouragement to Tommy Maddox. But Maddox will be heard from again next season, no doubt about that. So the Bruins wind up 5-6 overall, 4-4 in the Pac-10 Conference. And both coaches have been through the ringer here today. USC 45, UCLA 42.
Welcome back into the studio. The best of SC and UCLA football. Jim Watson along with Tom Kelly. We're watching a classic, the 1990 showdown at the Rose Bowl, 98,000 people, and one of the best finishes of all time.
I think that's entirely correct. It truly was an amazing fourth quarter as we saw each team getting 21 points. SC had a slim lead, 24-21 at the end of 3, and then the skies just opened up with touchdowns galore back and forth. And what a finish to it. A minute 13 when Marinovic started back deep in his own end part of the field, back around the 23-yard line, and flat on his back, throwing the pass that Morton caught in the corner of the end zone with literally no time left.
Ironic in the sense that we talked about Johnny Morton for USC, and you would assume that he would have been the key in that last drive, but not so. Gary Wellman, and actually Gary had a great day all around.
7 receptions, although none were for touchdowns. The little guy from Westlake Village out there in the Calabasas area. And he went on to have a very nice pro career. Injuries forced an early retirement for him, but he played well in this ball game, as he did all the years at SC, and he played well for the pros too. And of course, Morton is still playing professional football, outstanding receiver for the Detroit Lions, and his promise certainly came through for Sunday performances. Marinovic and Tommy Maddox, kind of star-crossed, certainly in the case of Marinovic, and Maddox, you know, never did quite catch on, no matter where he went.
Yeah, neither one of them did much once they got to the pro level. Talk about the last drive again and how much fun it was for you, because this is as pure as it gets. SC UCLA, a packed house, and driving for the winning touchdown.
Well, it was truly exciting and truly memorable. Unbelievable finish to the football game. And as I left the ballpark that day and walking through the parking lot, and I've done that a lot of times for an SC-UCLA game, there was always some bitterness, some rancor, almost fights breaking out because people, you shouldn't have won, I should have won, you know, back and forth, and the blue and the gold and the cardinal and gold fighting in the parking lot. Walking out of that stadium that day, everybody had the impression that they had just seen one whale of a football game, and I didn't hear one unkind word, one for the other. It was an amazing finish, and I think they went out of there fully satisfied, the fans, that two teams had played a great football game, and it came right down to the final second.
Yeah, I was one of those young faces sitting in the Rose Bowl that day, and it's a game I'll always remember. But there's some significance, and for a couple of Trojans like us, this is hard to take, but it was the last time that SC beat UCLA.
You could have gone all month without bringing that up, but it is true. The Bruins may have lost that game in 1990, but they've won 6 in a row from SC since then. And some have been, I'm sure, for the Bruins, just as exciting every moment of it as the game in 1990 was for USC.
USC with a great come-from-behind victory, 45-42. And for USC, it was on to the Hancock Bowl. UCLA, their season was over. That is going to do it. Thanks for watching, and join us next week as we pull another classic from the vaults, where we bring you the best of USC and UCLA football. For Tom Kelly, I'm Jim Watson. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.